Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SpawnCast episode 121. I have a bunch of stuff to go over, but we also brought in someone who wasn't too happy with our buddies over at Bethesda, and I think a lot of people were not, but we had to bring him in. We got MVG, modern vintage gamer, here with us today. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me back on the show. Yeah, I got a lot to talk about with Bethesda tonight, so we'll get into that shortly, I'm sure.
Cool. Very good. And then we actually have somebody, a remote destination there at QuakeCon. Max, what's going on?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm over at QuakeCon. I can't type in chat this week, but I can read what you're saying. I'm up here on a streamer stage along with 10,000 gamers. So if you're at QuakeCon, you could actually even come over and wave at me on stream.
And Max did get a chance to play Doom Eternal ahead of a bunch of people, so he has some interesting thoughts on that for everyone looking forward to that one. Should be good. Then we have Jordan. Jordan, what's going on?
What's going on? I have some choice words for Bethesda as well.
Oh man, Bethesda's getting all the heat tonight, man. Then we got Nate. Nate, how's it going tonight?
Not too bad.
Good to have you on board. And then we got OJ. What's going on, man?
I'm happy with Bethesda. I can't wait to praise exactly everything they've been doing. So screw all you guys. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Bethesda's been doing great.
You're in that Fire Emblem haze right now, man. You don't know what's left from right, or you're
understand, okay? Bethesda's done nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with logging in before you play your classic games that were made like 20 years ago. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I remember logging into Battle.net or whatever the hell it was 20 years ago when I was playing. You guys are tripping, not me. Okay, it's all you guys. All right.
And then we have wait, is that Stevie Richards? I just hit my head. Sean, what's up, man?
What's up? You know, I'm kind of on the opposite end of the Bethesda thing, because I mean, just put on airplane mode and it lets you bypass all that. I like the Doom games. It's the other game that they came out with that I'm not too happy with. That evidently I bought twice.
Hold on. Let me correct you there for a second. So the airplane mode does work, but you get that annoying pop-up message all the time about, hey, take off airplane mode to play the game properly.
See, when I did it, I only got it once.
Dude, I keep getting it over and over again. I don't know why.
I've had it a few times too.
Yeah, but can't you log in with like an email like Bethesda go to hell at AOL.com? And it's like, cool, that's fine. You logged in, even if it's fake.
When I did it, when I put it in sleep mode, if you put the Switch in sleep mode while you're playing Doom, up, it'll pop up over and over again. But when I completely exited out, like saved the game, completely exited out, put in airplane mode and went back in, it only asked me once. Or what? But I tried it last night and it was okay. But yeah, Youngblood's where I got my issues.
See, I'm part of the Slayers Club, so I just log in. I don't care.
You're part of the Slayers Club?
Yeah, I want my freebies for Doom. I want those extra bonuses.
Then we got Evan. What's going on, man?
It's going all right. Just so everyone knows, we are getting some audio issues still tonight. We're still trying to iron that out, so you might hear some cutouts again, but we're working on it. Hey, but yeah, blame go. We had a good thing going with Hangouts. Yeah.
They just had to mess it all up. Now we're on Discord. We're all over the place. So we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll look into some of those group call programs that are like swanky and nice and everything. So we'll see. We'll get it worked out though. But what's everyone playing this week? You guys want to? I'll go over. We'll stop for super chats at 9:30. So in about 22 minutes. I see you, David Valdez. Definitely see you there. Thank you. And the other one just dropped, but I'll go back through them 9:30 through the super chats, and then anything through Streamlabs, messages there. So I'll make sure I keep you guys up there too. Okay, cool. So what's everyone playing this week? What are we up to?
Can I talk about this week? Can I talk about Doom Eternal real quick? Because the rest of these might be.
yeah. Let's hear it, Max. Doom Eternal. Hit us with it.
So Doom Eternal. Okay, some guy's screaming like an asshole. So anyways, so Doom Eternal the demo was only on PC. I could also play it with an Xbox controller. There was no Switch in sight. I had to play it on this system. Doom Eternal is really good, though. It's very different. I was kind of surprised. It's a lot funnier in a more direct way. Like Doom 2016 was silly at times, but in my opinion, it was still kind of a serious game. This sequel has like goofy power-ups, monsters that like cry when you rip them apart. It makes like a cartoon sound effect when you climb up walls. It's actually really, really good.
Did you get a chance to use the grappling hook?
I did. Yeah, the grapple hook shotgun. They give it to you pretty early on, actually.
Nice.
you need it. It doesn't feel optional. One of the weird things is if you pick up a gun that has the special things, you need to use it because all the enemies are destructible now. So if there's somebody who's a living tank, if you don't shoot their cannon off, they'll like one-shot you. So you end up having to use the specialty weapons a lot.
Dude, I'm ready for Doom Eternal, man. That's gonna be sick. I'm ready for that. What's everyone getting it on?
Switch.
Okay.
Probably PS4 Pro.
Yeah,
Either
PS4.
that or Xbox.
Yeah.
That on 2 consoles. I mean, I have Doom on PS4 and I have Doom on Switch. So
I have to see that game in
double dip it.
4K. Like, as much as I want to take it on the go, I want to see that in 4K.
Yeah, I'll probably grab it on the Switch and the Xbox One X. I got to see it on the I guess that or PC, but I'll probably just get on the X, just see what a console can do. Just see what the console can do, you know, just to see. And then we got
holy crap!
Holy
jeez. Andy Ackerman with $160 through Super Chat saying, all I ask is split this donation with the entire panel.
All right,
okay.
Thanks for dinner.
Okay, there we go.
Thanks for dinner.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Jeez, Andy.
Holy crap.
Appreciate that. So that means that how much money is that towards a pro controller for Sean and Nate?
The thing is, because like I was saying, I messed up. I thought I had Fire Emblem coming from Amazon, and I checked the mail today because I got a game in yesterday, and it was Wolfenstein again, which I already bought off the Australian eShop. So I got to go by GameStop tomorrow to pick up Fire Emblem. So,
oh, geez.
you were expecting Wolfenstein instead?
I thought I ordered Fire Emblem. I order so much crap off Amazon that like I don't even check like the app that gives me notifications. It'll say, "Oh yeah, your package is delivered." I'm like, "Oh okay." So yeah, I have another copy of Wolfenstein Youngblood.
I was going to say, damn, that's a bad trade off, bro.
Wrong.
God damn, that's horrible. It's like
I did get those pins though, OJ. I didn't even know I was getting them when I showed up at GameStop. They just handed them to me, so that was cool.
My GameStop was crazy, man. They only had 10, so I went and snagged a couple of them.
I will at least say this: what RGT's mom donated, so that's nice.
Finally.
Doom Eternal. I'm ready for that though, Max. That's pretty cool that you got a chance to play it. It's actually, what was it? The end of November, right? So
yeah,
it's still like 4 months.
Yeah, well, and they're very cagey. I got to talk to the developers. I got to basically sit down and kind of interview them just for fun, and they were very cagey. They would not answer if I asked them specifically about a demo because I want to see a Switch demo, and I asked them about a beta on any console, and they were just kept repeating the same line, which is, "We're excited for people to enjoy it in November." So.
Great. I mean, I remember they did like a private event for press for Doom when it came out on the Switch. So maybe they'll do something else like that for Eternal, because I think it was Nintendo and Bethesda that organized that. So
don't forget they had it playable at E3, and I actually got to play it for a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it was probably an earlier build than the one that you played there, Max. But I was impressed too. I thought it was awesome.
Good. It's Doom, but more of the same with a grappling hook shotgun, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. See, I'm good then. I'm on board. Definitely. What about
got to be a game of the year contender, I'm sure.
You know what? I wanted to bring this up at some point on the podcast. I didn't know if we're far enough into the year yet. I was going to talk a bit about game of the year stuff eventually, like the midway point. Maybe we'll do that later on in the show, because I was really thinking about it. I was like, there's no like Red Dead Redemption 2 so far this year.
In my opinion,
there's no God of the War this year.
There's Death Stranding and Jeff Keighley, man. So, you know.
Yeah, that's the problem, man. Nothing has a chance. But what if it comes out? What if Death Stranding comes out and it's bad?
I know.
Still wins.
Oh
wins.
You can't rule it out, right? You can't rule it out. It's going to be a 8.5 out of 10 game versus a 10 out of 10 game.
Yeah. What about what's everyone else been up to? What have we been playing? I mean, I assume most people got Fire Emblem. Except for Sean.
I didn't get it.
And playing a bunch of Fire Emblem.
Man, like half the people here didn't get it. I'm a little surprised, to be honest.
I got it. I just started playing it today, and I'm hooked on it, man. I can't put it down. Honestly, it's so good.
Yeah, I played like 4 or 5 hours of it, and they throw a lot at you in the first few hours. Like you are all over the place. But it's Fire Emblem. I'm doing the class system stuff, where you're the professor. Is anyone like actually manually going through, or are people doing auto stuff?
I did everything auto. I did it all auto. I'll admit.
I started doing the first bit auto, and like it was running fine. I was like, maybe I'll try this manually, and it takes some time, but you got a bit more control over what you're doing and how you're building your people up.
There's going to be
kind
a question, but is there a way to increase the font size? Because some of it is really hard to read. I don't know if it's just my eyes, man. I feel like I'm getting old, but on the Switch Lite, it's going to be a little tricky to read some of that stuff, I think.
They need to patch that. For some reason, especially in handheld mode, the text is just, it's terribly small.
I haven't played it in handheld mode yet. I've just been playing it docked. It is small, though. You said, like, the text is, like, tiny, and we're going to a 5.5-inch screen, right, for the Lite?
Yep. They got to patch it, man. There's no way it's gonna fly on the Switch Lite the way it is.
I wonder how
Xenoblade Chronicles X, if you played it on the gamepad, it was
bad.
It was terrible. You couldn't read it.
Yeah, because you can see the pixels. Like, you can see the individual pixels trying to make up the letters and stuff, and you're like, oh gosh.
I think about Dead Rising. The original Dead Rising had the super tiny font. They had to patch it because it was unreadable on standard definitions. They made it for giant screen TVs and nothing else.
What did everyone? What houses did everyone pick?
Everyone the holy dudes, the church or whatever. The guy in blue, I think he's
the Lions.
Blue Lions. Yeah, that's who I picked. I went Blue Lions.
That's what I picked.
I did the Black Eagles.
Everyone was talking Black Eagles on Twitter. I kept seeing that. I was like, I'll be different.
I was gonna either do the Black Eagles or the Golden
Deer. Yeah.
But I kept hearing that the Golden Deer might be like a better second playthrough, and Black Eagles is good for like your first playthrough, so that's why I did that.
So then where did the Blue Lions fall? Am I playing like the end of the game without realizing it?
Nobody likes Blue Lions.
OJ, do you want to drop out and try to jump back in?
Yeah, maybe you guys can.
Are you using? Yeah, but are you using the browser or the app? Because I think
I'm using the browser.
You and RGT are both using browser, and you and RGT are both on my end cutting out occasionally.
Can you link to? I'm going to use my other account that's linked up with my.
He's totally cut out.
Twitter.
He said something.
See, I heard him perfectly.
Sean kind of said something there too. I don't know what Sean said.
I heard both of them though.
I'm just messing with Sean. Yeah, OJ, if you want to jump back in the app, that's fine. We can obviously you can drop right in.
Same.
So yeah, you too, Sean. That's fine.
Just set up the app.
We'll get you both in. That'll work. So because I know OJ probably wants to talk about. OJ is the most knowledgeable person here when it comes to this Fire Emblem game. So I want him to be able to speak on it without too much issue. But all right. So how about this? While they're out, Jordan, what is it about this Wolfenstein Youngblood game that why should I be mad at this right now? I haven't played it yet. I didn't even put it in the Xbox yet because I've been playing Fire Emblem.
This is the most disappointing lie that Bethesda produced yet. It literally, so many people are leaving. It is literally false advertising. I know a few websites closer to its release kind of covered on what it really was, but to the general public, all the trailers, everything that they showed off was lies. They were like, yo, this is Wolfenstein co-op, and it's nowhere. It's not. It's if you took Division or Destiny and said, okay, only 2 players online, not couch co-op. You have to play online with someone else. And it has a mission structure where you talk to someone, you replay the same level you just went through, you go back, you talk to someone, you play the same level that you just played to keep leveling up, to buy things in the store, but you can also buy it with real money.
Oh, so here we go.
It is just a lie of a game. The gunplay is still Wolfenstein, so that's fine. But the shell, the story, the idea that they sold you is a cash grab for them testing the waters of what they're going to do to a future Wolfenstein game. So that's what I feel. So
wait, does the microtransactions can affect progression then? You can buy your way.
You can, there's like, you know how like in most of these games that do this, there's like the free coins that you earn throughout the game, then there's another tier of currency that you pay for. There's that on there. I haven't explored it because I haven't paid for it, but you can buy stuff and upgrades for weapons and costumes and all this stuff for a game where you literally just run through the same areas and levels, leveling up while the enemies keep scaling, and you just keep doing that. That's all the game is. That's kind of unfortunate though that it's like that they it's the worst follow-up. It's at its gameplay, it's not bad, But the fact that it's not a real Wolfenstein game, it's not what they built up the status of the last few years being. They had, even when they did the Old Order or whatever, like that spin-off one, that one still was a Wolfenstein game, and that's what we thought this was going to be. And what we got is a pseudo lie. Like there's two sisters you can play as, but it wasn't advertised as a fake like a Destiny light. Like it's just not the complete game it should have been.
Yeah, like I mean, they did go about the marketing weird because it basically leading up to release, no one knew it really had RPG elements. And then as you're playing it, like, yeah, you're leveling up, the enemy scale to your level. You have to buy your upgrades based on, you get the silver coins, you get the skill points. They didn't really disclose any of that ahead of release, but I don't think those mechanics are necessarily bad for that type of game. Like, I'm actually enjoying the world building and the RPG elements that the game has.
I hope to God you are trolling me right now. Are you really giving praise to this kind of crap in the gaming industry right now? This is Bethesda, like
transactions.
This is literally, so when they got crap for Fallout, literally their golden child right now is Wolfenstein. Everything with Wolfenstein recently has had no controversies. It's been good. Everyone's loving the games. So even if they sprinkle it in here, it's still going to get decent reviews. It's still going to get coverage, and anyone who's talking bad about it is going to be ignored. And this is not fair gaming. This is like, we kind of just had an idea and we're going to let you pay for what you want. It's the same thing that Fallout 76 is, except it's only 2 people online. You can't couch co-op it. You have to sign in and do all this other stuff. And the fact that I knew there was a problem is the second I started playing the game, it's like, do you want to join a game? Do you want to host a game? I was like, what is this? I just want to play the story. Like, what is this? And then you can't even pause regularly because the gameplay still plays in the background. And that, I hate that in video games so much. And the second that happened, I was done. I hate what they've done with it. And luckily enough, Steam, for some reason, let me play it on Thursday. I went to go just pre-download it midday on Thursday, and it just let me play it. Didn't even have any checks. I downloaded it, hit play, and it worked.
Is it the gunplay that's okay though? Is that why
the gunplay's fine? Yeah, okay. It's still Wolfenstein. Like the characters, the gunplay. Yeah, it's still the Wolfenstein action, but it's the shell of it. It's like, here's that cool part that we know people are going to like, but then there's all this other BS that not a lot of people are talking about. And that's the problem with the game. It plays fine, but it's everything surrounding that little bit of good gameplay. Like the new Colossus is a long campaign. It's fun. There's a lot to do. But this is like just run through the same areas over and over again just to level up, to get to nothing, just a little bit of story here and there. It's not, the world building sucks compared to it, Nate. The story you get is just these quick little dialogue sequences and a couple cutscenes compared to the world building we got in the full new Colossus game.
Yeah, the story of Youngblood is pretty awful. I mean, basically the story, as far as I can tell from what I've played, it's about 50% of the game is just the 2 sisters running around shooting Nazis and saying, "Hey sis, Nazi! Hey sis, Nazi!" That's pretty much it. And it actually kind of gets annoying where it's like, say something else, but no, it's like, let's kill Nazis. We're the daughters of BJ. He killed Hitler. Hey, did you know our father killed Hitler? Like, yeah, I got it. You told me in the first 5 minutes of the game, and now you're telling me, for the next 5 hours. We get it. Your dad killed Hitler. And yeah, I get it. You were born to kill Nazis. Okay, girls, do you have any other claim to fame beyond what your father did? And, the game really doesn't expand beyond that. But but what they took with the game that people are complaining about, like the RPG things, they're saying, oh, you have to buy these skills or you have to buy these weapon upgrades. But Wolfenstein New Colossus had that. It's just the way you went about it is differently. Like you had to kill a character with the machine gun 50 times to get an upgrade. And now it's, use these silver coins and you can buy it, or you need the skill point to get extra health. Whereas in the other games, it was just a different way of upgrading.
See, I wouldn't have had a problem with this game being like it is if there was honest advertisement, because I feel I was sold a lie. I feel from everything that they talked about for 2 years about this game was that this is just more Wolfenstein. And the trailers looked like it was an epic story continuing what the new Colossus brought, which I love that game to death. So I'm like, hell yeah, this is what I want. I'm excited for this. And the second I play it, all these issues starting to where I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, it's fun to go shoot. Oh, and then the mission's over. Now you got to go do some boring dialogue, buy some stuff, and then go back into the same thing. It's not fun. Like, yeah, the gameplay's fun, but you keep going through the same levels. It's not interesting. There's nothing new here. It is just a stickered on skin of Wolfenstein.
I mean, it was the problem is that they kept what the game really was about basically until launch day. They didn't tell you of all the RPG elements. They didn't tell you basically how the game would be played. But I'm still sitting there playing it, and I'm still having fun with what it's offering. It's not the
I'm happy you are.
New Colossus. It's not that. Oh, the first hour I'm in the wheelchair and nothing's happening, and now it's a 20-minute cutscene, and I finally shot my first Nazi. This game is basically, here you go shoot a bunch of stuff, have fun with it, and listen to your sister say, "Sister, you're a beast. Sister, look, we're shooting Nazis." And like, it's a $30 game.
You're having fun. I'm just saying I'm not having fun because this isn't the game I was expecting. If you can find the fun in it, that's great. I'm happy for you. My problem is that it was a lie. It's like if they were advertising the new Elder Scrolls game, all this cool stuff, and it's going to be amazing. But at launch, day of, it comes out and it's a kart racer. That's the problem, Nate. It's not the game that they sold us. It's not the idea of what Wolfenstein was. In Wolfenstein's history, when was it ever a Division or Destiny Light with 2 players?
Never.
Yeah.
Okay. So then there you go. That's the problem. They didn't say it was different. I know it's a spin-off, but the last spin-off was still a Wolfenstein game. That's my issue.
Tag me in, Jordan.
All right, Sean, go ahead.
See, I went into the game like, okay, it's going to be a co-op Wolfenstein. Once I played the first level and I realized, okay, this isn't going to be like Old Blood. This isn't going to be like New Colossus. This is going to be its own thing. And I embraced what the game was is when I started to enjoy it. I got rid of the idea in my head that it's going to be a traditional Wolfenstein, and I played the game for what it is.
But why? What gave you that impression? What told you it was going to be different aside that it was co-op?
As soon as I started to play it.
That's the problem, Nate, because you didn't know until you played it. That's the issue. You got a different game than you were expecting.
Is that they did keep what the game really is from people until it launched, but then as soon as I played it and what it was, it's not that bad.
Their advertising wasn't great. Their advertising was pretty bad.
That's what the problem is that it was they literally said nothing of the gameplay being any different than Wolfenstein 2, and it was completely different. And I don't even think different is necessarily bad. I just don't think it works in this style of game. When you look at Wolfenstein 2, think of all the even like the side characters. Like I don't recall her name. The pudgy Nazi girl who ends up switching over and coming, like you keep her captive and she comes over to your team. Like she has more personality as a side character than everyone in Wolfenstein Youngblood combined. Like these people have no personality. There's no story behind them. You're literally you're going to save your father and you're going to find your father. Okay, great. But what about other things? There's just nothing to it. And I don't like the scaling of the enemies. I don't like the way, buying upgrades and stuff like that is fine. I don't, upgrading your weapons, upgrading your character, that's cool. But I think the scaling enemies just makes it feel like a non-Wolfenstein game. And to be a Wolfenstein game and to not tell people these things in advance that, hey, the gameplay is going to be completely different than what you're used to, it's very deceptive. Like my video was called Wolfenstein was not what I was expecting. And I think that's what it was for a lot of people. People were not expecting Youngblood to be this weird sort of game. We thought it was going to be a co-op game like Wolfenstein 2 where you could play with your friends, drop in and drop out co-op. I think the drop in and drop out co-op works fine. I had some bugs with the Nintendo Switch version like I showed in my video where like people were shooting at me and I walked under this little thing and then they disappeared and then I walked back out under it and they reappeared and like they weren't cloaking or anything. The characters were just literally disappearing and I just kept doing it back and forth. The Proto Hound, the first time I fought the Proto Hound, it got stuck in a wall and it just stood there, so I just shot it to death. And bullet sponges, man, the bullet sponges make this game like just it feels tedious. It's like, what's the point of upgrading my weapons? What's the point of doing all this if every enemy that I come across, even enemies that don't have any armor, simple human enemies, are bullet sponges? It's just not very fun.
Did you switch to the guns that would expose the weakness of their armor to limit the bullet sponge aspect?
Yes. But you're even limiting getting the bullet sponge out. And let's be honest here.
Did you upgrade your guns?
Of course I did. It's not like you're going into a situation where all the enemies are one type of enemy. There are different enemies of different types that are attacking you, 4, 5, 6 different enemies. So you're just going to sit there and switch your gun and be like, oh yeah, for this guy, I got to use this gun. Oh wait, let me switch to this one. And it's not what Wolfenstein, it's not what Doom, it's not what these first person shooters from Bethesda and id Software that we've gotten over the years are about. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad game. It's just not a game for me. It's not a game that I was having a blast playing. Like, I had more fun with Raiden 5, I felt, than I did with this. And Raiden 5 comes with a little cool music sampler.
Right on, man. I got my copy right here. It's awesome.
Yeah, great game. Like, I was really surprised. They definitely talk way too much in the game, but they talk way too much in Youngblood too.
Well, hold on. We've been talking about Wolfenstein for a while here when Fire Emblem's out. So, OJ, why don't you tell us a bit about Fire Emblem?
I mean, I'm about to say, goodness gracious, guys. It's a $30 spin-off. I mean, come on.
Regardless, that's not the point, though, that we're trying to.
To be fair, $10 less than that, you can get the Doom trilogy. So, you know.
Great.
That's true. But those games are old. By the way, did you log into your BattleNet account before?
I did.
You guys hear me better now?
Yeah,
that whole RGT rant was flawless, so we should be good.
It was a great rant. It was a great rant. I think from what I've seen from Youngblood, I think that it would have been better if they said something, but maybe they wanted to surprise gamers out there. I remember when I first played Kid Icarus Uprising, I had no idea about the weapon fusion and all that, and it was a very cool surprise, right? That's not how Kid Icarus was played, but they completely made this one different, I guess. So I guess it can work well sometimes, and then it can also backfire. You know,
if the surprise was disappointment, they nailed it.
Sometimes the surprise is disappointment. It's great.
Okay, so OJ, what's this Fire Emblem? We played quite a few of them. You have a fondness for the Fire Emblem games. How does this one stack up to the previous ones?
I do. So far, I'm really liking it. I think it's definitely in the upper half, but it puts it in the new school Fire Emblem. So we have to make sure that we separate the two, right? You have the old school Fire Emblem and you have the new school. So you do have the casual mode. You do have the Divine Pulse, so you can turn back time. So there are things automatically that are going to piss some Fire Emblem fans off because they want you to suffer like they suffered during games. The old school Fire Emblem.
Well, you can make it so you have permadeath, or you can turn it off.
Yeah, well, back in the old school days, you can't turn off permadeath. You don't have the turning back of time and all that. So that's already going to divide some people. But when it comes to the actual gameplay, when it comes to the story, when it comes to the combat and like the new tactics and stuff in there, absolutely phenomenal. I love what they did with this Fire Emblem game. The combat arts are really good. The monastery and all of the teaching stuff, once you actually just kind of take a little bit of time to realize what you want to do and your focus and being able to actually change it to where you can, like, let's say, hey, I want to become, like in my next class, I want to become a monk or whatever. All you got to do is just focus on those two things, level up those stats, keep your students happy by doing activities with them, like a persona or whatever the case is. And then bam, they get the happier they are, the better they are. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Sean, Pro Controller, baby.
Jesus Christ.
Pro Controller for Sean.
All right. I'll go get one tomorrow.
I mean, you're on your way to GameStop. So
I got to go to GameStop anyways, yeah.
You got to roll in there and get that Pro Controller
finally happening.
Jesus.
I mean, you're going to get YouTube some of that Pro Controller too while you're at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Like 30% of it, just hand it over.
Yeah, 30% of that. So, but anyway.
He's going to come home with that PlayStation 4 Pro Controller.
YouTube's like, man, I'm getting me a Pro Controller too, man.
Yeah, really.
but no, Fire Emblem, it's really good. It's stacking up very good. Definitely stacking up better than Fates, in my opinion. Where I'm kind of putting it right now, I'm about 7 to 10 hours in. And in terms of just the beginning of the game, I'm stacking it around, like, my favorite is Awakening. That's my favorite. And I'd probably say like Fates is after that, or maybe Path of Radiance. I'm stacking it up right around with the top for me, at least. And when it comes to Fire Emblem games, it's that good. The story's amazing. I love the decisions and the choices and stuff that you can do. It feels like more of a complete RPG because of the monastery. Because usually what you do is you go from one cutscene to another in Fire Emblem games, and then you talk to people, like in Barracks, like with 2D cutscenes. That's what you usually do. But now you actually have fully voiced, fully 3D, going around anywhere. So it feels more like a full RPG with the side quests and the fishing and all that. I can't believe they were able to get it done in the time that they got it done. Going from 3DS to Switch, that's a big jump. But Koei Tecmo helped them out with that. So great stuff all around. enjoying the game. I'm picking the Black Eagles, but I'm gonna play through everything.
Yeah, I figure you play through all the houses anyway. But Max, I saw you sign in when I was playing for like maybe a little bit. I mean, I figured you were a QuakeCon, so I was surprised to see you log in. Did you get a chance to play that just when you were just on the go?
I actually have I think I put about 5 hours into it. I was only online for part of it, but yeah, wow. There's stuff I like. I'll be honest. I like the time rewind. I like the casuals in it. I like that stuff because it's giving me more of a chance to focus on the story. I think the voice acting and writing in this one is amazing. Like, honestly, I think the mystery at the heart of it and who the hell this time traveling spirit is, I think all that is really cool. So honestly, I'm very much digging this right now.
By the way, I like that they added that stuff for casual players and for people just to focus on the story. I'm a big fan of that because why Fire Emblem games people don't want to sit there, especially with the game that's as complex as Fire Emblem, and get like bodied the whole time. Like, you got to give options for people who just want to enjoy the really good story. So I like the fact that they made the turning back, whatever, the Divine Pulse, Mila's Turmoil, whatever in the previous games, and they made casual mode. I actually like that. To me, that actually helped save the series more so than anything.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like I said, it's going to be a while. Like they're still introducing stuff, like 6 or 7 hours in, and they throw a lot at you in the first couple hours. So I'm going to be curious to see Sean's take on it too, though. That's not you're getting that tomorrow. So
yep,
Sean, when you get the Pro Controller, dude, you got to do a video review on it.
I will.
I want to see Pro Controller versus Dog Bone controller, like the dog face controller.
I mean, yeah, it's been 2.5 years I've been using the dog face.
I can't believe that.
Greatest thing ever for every game.
Here's the man. It's really been that long. That is crazy to me. The only problem, the only frustrating thing is that they don't have any special edition Pro Controllers coming out this fall. Like it's holiday because
not that we know of.
Because you could have grabbed like a Link's Awakening one or something. Ooh, that'd been cool.
I'd buy that. I'm buying that if that exists.
Yeah,
but see, that would be something. That would be something I'd buy and then just like keep in a box or something.
I mean, no one said you had to use the Pro Controller.
No, I'll use it. I'll use it to check it out. Who knows? I mean, I might end up liking it.
I do want to see your take on it. I think you will like it, though. I mean, it is a really good controller, and it has like the battery life's like 40 hours on it. So,
and that's good because sometimes the JoyCon seem to be a little die. Is that a word?
Die.
Yep.
Die. Yeah, it'll be. I think you'll like it, though. I do. I think you'll like it. Let me pull up some of these super chats. I saw Jordan's uncle Ted donated. RGT's mom.
Did he really?
Donated.
Yeah, Ted's back,
it's like
boys.
it's a family reunion over here, man.
Oh man, they're all coming out tonight. Jeez.
Angel Enriquez says, "Happy birthday to yours truly." Also, you guys think Nintendo could possibly ditch the sticks on the Switch for something more sturdy? Talking about the Joy-Con sticks right now. Which actually, Angel, we'll actually bring that question up when we get to the Joy-Con drift topic, which is coming up in a bit. Thank you, though. T Joe B says a Battle.net account is required to read super chats. I was just typing any email, apparently, right? I wonder if it actually checked emails or just was like whatever. I guess it didn't verify emails. It was just, yep, you're good. It let you through without doing anything other than punching something in, like a random email in. David Valdez says, just supporting the SpawnCast. Picked up, have devoted 50 hours to Breath of the Wild. I just purchased Vassara collection. And do you say Raiden, Sean? Raiden?
Yeah, Raiden 5.
Raiden 5.
It doesn't do anything to reinvent the wheel of shoot 'em ups, but it's a really solid shoot 'em up. I like it. Online leaderboards are fun, even though there's some weird stuff. They don't say 43rd or anything.
I saw that.
43rd, and it's like, okay.
I saw that. I was like, what was that?
Yeah, very, very solid game.
They have a question for you as well. Question RG85. Any thoughts on recent images / news on the Evercade?
I'm still a fan of the Evercade, honestly. They've got what's that? Mega Cat Studios, which is a company that makes like new NES and Genesis games. They did Coffee Crisis, I believe, was one of their games, and they're doing a cartridge for the system. So I like it. I think a blend of newer retro style games and then retro games in general is a good mix. It seems like it's a hell of a lot better than the Atari VCS.
It's true.
Okay. And then we have where was I? Pro for RGT. That's from Fish Fan. It seems to be coming together right now. So.
Oh, wait till you get to some of the big ones. There's more big ones.
Pixel Tamers. Gurk Garb says Pixel Tamers bootleg Pokemon being advertised here. I don't know what that is. Pixel Tamers. Matthew McFetters, no message, $1. Thank you. T. Joe B says, how are you guys able to afford Fire Emblem Three Houses, MM2, and all these games? Some of us can barely afford one a month. Well, sometimes they get sent to us. Other times we just buy them and write them off, depending on if we do videos on them. That's mostly how it works. Ends up being a business expense, to be honest, at the end of the year half the time, right?
I don't even realize how I pay my mortgage. It's impossible at this
there
point.
You go.
They never kick me. I'm squatting where I'm at, so it's all good.
There you go. Then we had Andy Ackerman, of course. Jennifer Taya with $1 in a message. Thanks, Jennifer. RGT's mom did donate to us. It says, Shawnee boy, stop drinking so much Tang. You clogged up the toilet today, and mother had to clean it up.
Well, now we're on the cream soda kick, Mom. You should know
cream
this.
soda boys.
Rise up.
Rise up.
Get a real energy drink, not that Zed.
What do you got over there, Max?
Balls, the drinking gamers. The motto of this is stay awake, drink.
I keep thinking Balls has gone out of business, and then I keep seeing them, and I'm like, oh.
For a while. They came back, I guess.
They sell it to only gamers. You have to climb the gaming mountaintop.
Do they just have a stack back there? You're allowed to just grab them from. They just have them all over the place, huh?
Yes, they do. I'll be honest. I have about 75 behind me, and they're good.
Are they even cold though?
Cold is relative in gamer world.
And then RGT's mom says, I also pay Sean's rent. All right.
I wish. I don't know who you're paying, but you better get a refund on that shit.
Jose Martinez, $1 in a message. Thanks, Jose. Ben says, Fire Emblem font, a font for ants. Just like you guys were saying, it's pretty small.
It's true. Bring up that, Sean, are you drinking 2 different flavors Zevias at once?
Yeah.
You just mix them okay.
No, one has caffeine and one doesn't. So yeah. I'm drinking the caffeine one first, and then I'll have the non-caffeine.
That's the next level YouTube strats right there.
Nathan Bell says, out of who got it, is your all Fire Emblem non-lead character.
Favorite Fire Emblem non-lead character?
Yeah.
Oh, Petra. She's nice.
I have to check his name, but the guy with the red hair with the javelin right now. Double check his name in the house that I'm in. Yes.
Are you Black Eagle?
No. I'm Blue Lions. So either Max or maybe MVG knows who I'm talking about, but he's a dude with the red hair and the javelin. He's been good. He's been good for me so far.
Yeah, I like him too. I kind of throw everybody into the fray though. I've been trying to fight with everybody. I love the combo attacks. I kind of just zerg.
Yeah, I'm like creeping up so slowly. I'm looking for all the forest I can, and I'm just like waiting. I'm like, come on, move. You got to play, man. If you got to play conservative in that game,
you've got to. If you're playing on normal, or casual, you can be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah. If your people are gone, you're like,
yeah. If you're playing on classic, you've got to play defensive. You got to hide in the bushes. You got to play all like Rambo, or not Rambo, but you got to play all like where you're hiding and everything like that. Otherwise, you're gonna die. Dimitri almost died just by me being a little bit more aggressive than I wanted at the very beginning.
I'm seeing Sylvan in the chat. Sylvan.
Yep, that's him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's been good for me so far.
Sylvain.
Sylvain. Yeah.
It's called Sylvain. So Sylvain, something.
And then Jordan's Uncle Ted said Virtual Console coming back with Switch Lite. Probably not, but Super Nintendo maybe for the subscription service.
I like how it wasn't like a meme comment, like it was just an actual comment from my.
I think Nintendo's going to stick with this subscription service. I think they need to separate it from the online because they'll probably want to charge more, but I think they'll stick with it.
Man, they really need to get Super Nintendo on there, especially with no mini console this year. Come on.
Yeah, they discontinued it. Yep. Yeah. Oh man. Hey man, they got to make way for the N64 classic. Everyone forgot about the N64 mini. Maybe it's maybe it's ready to pop up. I don't know. Shalaris Blackheart, no message, $1. Thank you. Chris N says, will Bethesda give refunds for DRM late in Doom? I don't think so.
No, they'll just patch it out as they announced today.
Oh yeah, yep, they're gonna fix that. We'll talk a bit about that. And then I just had it. And then Zildjian says, why would anyone ever use Discord browser? I don't know. It's easy because if you click the link, it just pops up in the browser, right?
Yeah, I like it. It is easy.
Yeah. So I'll cut it there. Then we'll come back to super chats again in a bit. And then I'll also grab the Streamlab ones then I saw pop up. So Doom. What's going on with Doom? MVG, what happened here? Because you have ported Doom. You ported Doom to the Switch, didn't you?
I have PSP, original Xbox.
You're the one who ported the Doom to the PSP. I remember playing that on there. Huh.
Yep. So just for those people that aren't aware that's going on, for the two people out there that don't know what's happened, Doom 1 and 2 and 3 was released yesterday, kind of shadow dropped by Bethesda, I guess for, QuakeCon 2019. And they decided that they would put some DRM into Doom 1 and 2, which, to be fair, was fairly, I guess the word is, it wasn't really that bad as far as what it did, especially after we found out that you could bypass it. But a lot of people weren't happy, myself included. So I ended up making a video about it and really just kind of ranting about the fact that Doom, which is a 26-year-old game, has to have some DRM or some type of Bethesda.net login associated to it. And you guys didn't really touch on this, but the 5 pages of terms of service that you have to agree to before you can continue and get into the game. And I mean, no one's going to read through that crap, but there's so much stuff in there that just doesn't make any sense to a game that's come out in 1993. And, essentially, a lot of people weren't happy about it, myself included. I made a video about it. And the good news is Bethesda actually has responded. And this morning they've said that, hey, we're going to make this totally optional. And, we hear you guys and we'll get that patched out for you guys, which is cool. But they're not off the hook completely. And the reason is because there's a couple of other things that have happened here. The first one is they've removed the Xbox Live Arcade version of Doom 1 and 2 off Xbox Live.
I saw that.
So you can't download that anymore. So the only recourse, and that's the best version of Doom that you can play. And that's really all there is to say. It's the best port of the game that you can get. Now the good news is you can still get the Doom BFG edition physically, and so you can still kind of get it that way. But ultimately, Bethesda really kind of messed up on this, and they know what they did, and they're getting it fixed. So it's pretty good. We got the result that we wanted, but it took a little bit of ranting and raving.
Some pushback, yeah. Mac's about to run around there, start asking some questions, and start beating down some doors over there.
So it's weird. I'm actually here with the developers of stuff like that, and I've been talking to them about it. And Pete Hines, like the guy who does all this stuff, is literally playing an Xbox right over there. So it's really weird to think that they're making these decisions and kind of not expecting backlash. They're surrounded by 10,000 gamers. I'm sure they knew that was a bad move. I'm sure that they realized that was stupid.
They said it was supposed to be optional. Now they say it was supposed to be optional. Like they're backpedaling on it. Like, it was supposed to be optional for like Slayer's Club or whatever.
Right. And I don't want to blame the developers for this because, developers never have any input on this type of stuff. They just get told, hey, you got to code this into the front of the intro of the game. So, they're just basically doing what they've been asked to do. So it's not really their fault. It's really, someone else in the company obviously had made that decision to do that.
Yeah, when we talk about these things, usually we talk about the decision makers, not necessarily people on the ground floor actually programming it. Like when we talk about Fallout 76 with some of their bad decisions with the cash shop and the online and everything, usually we're talking about the decision makers, not the people trying to make what they tell them to make. So
yeah.
I want to make a note. So I played Elder Scrolls Blade on Switch. I actually got a chance to play a full demo of it. And what's interesting is they were very, very clear while I was playing the demo that you will need to constantly be signed into a Bethesda account to play that. And not only that, if you try and play it on another device, you'll have to sign in again. So if you start playing it on like your iPhone and then start playing it on the Switch, you have to keep trading your save file and trade your logins.
Interesting.
It sounds like Bethesda is about to start pushing the Bethesda login everywhere.
Interesting. So maybe they're trying to work towards that future where everything is tied together under this account, and like you have to have one, and so you have to have all your information with them, and maybe they're working towards like an always online, live service type thing. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see that.
RGT's mom has a request, Max.
I'm going to. All right, I'm going to go over there. Watch. You're going to curse out Twitter video of me walking up to Pete Hines and go, "Hey there, millionaire fuck."
But hey, one thing I did want to say is Doom 3 doesn't have as bad of DRM as the first two games, and that is a really awesome port on the Switch, and I've really been enjoying it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I was really impressed with that game. Like, I played it originally on the Xbox, like way back in the day, but like I was surprised at how good and clean everything looks in that game.
Yeah.
And that's it's an underrated game. Like, yeah, it's different in the term that Wolfenstein Youngblood is different, but at least you knew going into it that it wasn't going to be like previous Doom.
Doom 3 was going to be a horror game and not a fast-paced action shooter like Doom.
There was
did know that.
The thing about Doom 3, though, if you remember way back in the day, there was some pushback from fans with that game because it was way different than what we were used to with Doom.
Yeah, there was a lot of pushback. The internet just wasn't as developed.
Yeah,
but it works as a horror game. I think it's a damn fine survival horror game.
Dude,
but
Bethesda
Bethesda didn't tell us that the Switch release would have the duct tape mod to it.
Yeah,
it's not like the PC version where that flashlight just isn't always on when you're shooting.
But I'm okay. In my opinion, that's the best version of the game. So if someone says, "Hey, I'm selling you the best version of this game," I go, "Thank you, Daddy."
But like, yeah, because when Doom came out, at first we liked it because it beat up our video cards. So we were like, look how cool I am with my 8800 GT or whatever.
Yeah, it was a great new tech demo, man.
We would just beat up, it would just beat up video cards, which was great. But I look back on it, I think it was a pretty cool game for its time. I do. And like you were saying, MVG, it's been ported to the Switch already, but this version runs better.
It kills it. Yeah, the homebrew version is decent, but this one is, it's panic button. They know exactly what they're doing to get the best out of the hardware. So yeah, it's fantastic. I was actually surprised. I thought it would be 30 frames locked at 1080p, but it's actually 60 frames, and man, it's buttery smooth. I love it.
They got 60 out of it. I noticed like if I pan the camera really quick at certain times, I can get it to drop frames. But if you're just sitting there like shooting and stuff and like normal, not trying to do that, it runs pretty well. I was playing. I was like, it's 1080p like straight up, and it runs well. I was like, man, this is good. It's on PS4 and Xbox One as well. I believe they dropped it on there too.
I did notice in the original Doom, the music is like slower.
It's slowed down. Yeah. It's like 111 BPM compared to the original like 130.
Yeah, and it's really bad. The best way to test it out is load up Doom 2 and listen to the music on the first level. It is horrible, man. It's like the bass lines are just kind of blending in with each other, and it just sounds like absolute dog shit, quite honestly.
Well, you had, I was to say you talked about that, but then you also mentioned that it was ported using Unity, like they moved it over with Unity. And if you look at the screenshots in the eShop, look at the bottom right, because it definitely says trial mode. Like they took screenshots from the trial mode of Unity that I guess they hadn't paid for or activated yet.
Yeah, I talked to a developer and he said, you touch one little thing in Unity and it becomes unregistered and unlicensed. So you got to be really on the ball about keeping it updated. So it was probably just an honest mistake that they made there.
But I mean, you figure they look at the screenshots before they put them on the eShop, right?
You figure Nintendo wouldn't allow it to pass certification at that point.
Dude, right? I don't think I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think Nintendo cares what's on the eShop. I don't think so, dude. I just think they just hit the button and it goes. I think that's it. So
one thing I want Panic Button to do with Doom 3 is to go back and add some gyro controls.
Oh, I thought you were about to say. I
don't know if it would break the game though. If they added that, just because it's more of a slower pace Doom compared to Doom 1, 2, and Doom 2016.
We played it with mouse controls, keyboard and mouse. And that's
True.
basically what Gyro just emulates essentially, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think it would be fine. It was a surprise drop. I feel like they probably had some time to work on it, but I bet you they didn't have time to do all of that. I could see them adding that later. I would hope that they would add that, and I would like to see them add subtitles as well.
I would rather see Doom 64 before those two features get added.
Everyone relax, because there was a ratings that was put out, and it does look like Doom 64 is coming.
Oh no shit! Oh,
Everyone relax.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes, it is happening. It looks like I was posting it, or I was sending it to some people. Yeah, it does look like Doom 64 is happening. So there you go, Nate. There you go.
It better be brightened, because anybody who played it back in the day, that game is dark as shit. And later on, they fixed it. So as long as we get Doom 64 with just a little bit of increased brightness, hell yeah.
Max, go ask someone there at QuakeCon about that. Be like, hey, Doom 64, I saw it got a rating, right? What's up with that?
I will. I legit will. So I'm probably going to go. There's a Doom party tonight that I'm going to crash. And somebody else in chat asked me to ask them specifically why the music is slowed down. So I'm going to go there tonight and be like, hey, what's with this fucked up music, huh?
But it's the same type of rating that popped up for Doom 1, 2, and 3 like a day or two ago. That kind of flew under the radar. People started looking for it now, and they came across Doom 64 that was also rated at the same time. It was only the other ones were only rated for the PS4 and the PC. Same with this one. It's the same exact format and everything. So it's going to most likely be on everything again. So
awesome. And yeah, I mean, I want to be clear about, my video about it. I was very critical about some of the things, especially the DRM. But look, at the end of the day, it's actually quite a good port of all three games to the Switch and the different systems. It's really just if they can take care of the DRM thing, which they say they're going to patch, and they fix the music issue in the first two games. I mean, I'm happy. It's going to be all I really want.
Well, and plus to give Bethesda some props, which God, we haven't done much of that.
I know exactly what you're about to say.
Price point,
pricing.
Baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
pricing. Fucking at $5 a pop, $10 for Doom 3. Like, that is value.
Where's Capcom? Where's Capcom right now?
Where's Capcom at? Like, that is value.
I knew you were about to say price point. Yeah.
Fantastic pricing. Fantastic. I mean, it was to the point of it was like, okay, I have to buy all three of these. Like, shit.
$20.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think Bethesda planned a little marketing of maybe Wolfenstein Youngblood would not be well received, and they want to get some positive coverage out, so that's why they dropped the 3 Doom games out of value?
Maybe.
No. I can tell you for a fact that's not true. So last night or Thursday night, they basically had a big party to celebrate the release of Youngblood. I got to hang out with all the voice actresses of the twins and stuff. They thought that this thing was going to get great reviews.
Really?
You could tell that everybody was definitely a little bit stunned to see that it wasn't getting 9s and 10s. In fact, I actually saw some of the people retweeting an 8 just because that was like one of the ones on their timeline.
Man, I don't know. I feel like if you bring Jordan in, get Jordan in there for QA. He's got you. For QA testing.
I have some questions.
All right, so Nate's gonna go now.
Wait, Nate's gonna go? You didn't read his whole message. Wait.
Nate's
What do you mean? That's not what he said.
I said I have to go. I have to enjoy a refreshing swim.
Without your clothes on. Let's just be clear about that. There will be no clothes in this
Yes,
pool.
it's
All right.
called a bathing suit.
I don't know. Nate,
No, it's a birthday suit, Nate. That's
Hey,
what you think.
to me, that takes away the feeling, man. I'm just go inside.
that's your personal pool, right?
Yes.
It's not like a community pool, right?
No.
I'm making sure. Okay, I was making sure. All right, cool. All right, we'll see you next week, Nate.
Yes. Maybe I'll be back before it ends. Who knows?
Okay. I mean, I hope not, but all right. We'll see.
I didn't put my timing through. Yeah, that's only an hour. Yeah, I'm not gonna
I
be
think
back.
it'll be okay. Okay. All right. We'll see you next weekend, Nate.
Yes, I'll be here next Saturday.
Okay. All right. We'll see you next Saturday.
How the hell do I leave this thing?
Leave it on, dude. No.
Just take it with you. We're gonna definitely get that demon.
We're gonna hear him splashing around and be like, "Oh, you little."
All I gotta say is direct feed living up to his name, bro.
There's the disconnect button down at the bottom left, Nate.
Nate's just gonna unplug his computer at this point. He's like, I'll figure it out later.
Bring it in the pool with him. Fuck this thing.
There's the disconnect button.
There you go. You got it. Okay, he's got it. I think he did anyway. Anyway, okay, there we go. We're good. We're good. Okay.
Well,
everyone good? All right, I think we're good. Okay.
Some slight recovery needed.
Okay, I think we're good. So, do we want to go over the JoyCon drift? The JoyCon drift stuff. We had the lawsuit. We talked about that last week, right? It was drifting. We had issues with that, and then there was this class action lawsuit. And now all of a sudden, Nintendo's replacing these things straight up. You just call them. You say, "I got my Joy-Con's drifting." They don't even check your warranty status. They just say, "Send them in."
That tells me that it's a lot more widespread than what we thought. And I mean, it's not red ring of death levels of issue, but it's significant for them to be doing that.
Yeah, it surprised me because we went from possibly a class action lawsuit to the next day a class action lawsuit being filed and everything, and then Nintendo's like, yeah, we're just gonna start replacing these straight up. They didn't advertise it either. They basically, people figured this out. There was that internal memo that got apparently leaked, and then in a span of a week, we went from sign up here for a class action lawsuit to all of the Joy-Cons just being replaced straight up without no questions asked. So I do wonder if somehow we accelerated with the maybe with that class action. I don't know if Nintendo knew this was an issue, or I don't know, something forced them all of a sudden to do it.
I personally don't think the class action lawsuit really had much to do with anything. I think that more than anything, the Kotaku article and people kind of talking about that was more something that Nintendo pays attention to. The class action lawsuit, they would have lost. They're quoting people on message boards. I personally felt I thought they were going to maybe they had people that they know, or maybe these people the lawyers were actually gamers and they had nieces and nephews and they can bring in and talk about, hey, this is what happened. But they were just looking to try to get a settlement. That's what they were looking for.
Right.
They haven't even made a statement afterwards that Nintendo came out and said something. Usually when things like this happen, you make a statement. If you're in a lawsuit, they haven't said anything. So that tells me that they were looking to try to get a settlement. They weren't looking out for the gamers out there like people were trying to say it. I think Kotaku, believe it or not, was probably looking out more for the gamers with the article than the lawsuit. So I don't think the lawsuit had anything to do with it. I think it was more of that. But I also think that Nintendo was also working on trying to see if they can get this resolved too, because they were having quite a number of issues. But I think maybe anything.
You think this uproar of just my Joy-Con's drifting, because all of a sudden, man, it was popping up on Reddit and message boards and stuff already, and all those threads would gain a lot of traction. People would comment, upvote it, and everything. Kotaku does their article, it blows up further, and now we're to the point where it's in the U.S., I believe Canada, and I think I saw a message that said parts of Latin America and stuff. I saw people were messaging and posting all of that stuff. So I guess it's just spreading now. Apparently in the UK, not yet though, which is weird. They're not covering.
No, not yet in the UK. They expanded to Latin America though.
Sean, I am shocked that your Joy-Cons have not drifted yet.
My newer ones, no. The old ones, I don't have them anymore. I threw them away when I threw away the one that was drifting. So. Oh, you
did have one that was drifting then.
Yeah, remember I had to replace my Joy-Cons last year.
That's right.
Yeah. But I just chucked it because I was like, okay, whatever.
Oh, dude, there's a whole video online of how to replace your joystick.
Yeah, because I'm sure I would have been able to do that.
I would have watched a video of you trying to do that.
Me ripping my hand open and bleeding, cutting an artery somehow.
Dropping screwdrivers.
Sean, yesterday or today and yesterday, over the past 2 days, I backlit a Game Boy Pocket, man. I think you can change out a joystick.
Ooh.
I don't know, man.
Oh, dude, you should see this. You should see this Game Boy Pocket, man. Thing is sweet.
I want that gold one you got.
You put a picture of it up, didn't you?
Yeah, I have it over there. I can grab it. I don't know how well it'll show up. It might show up all right. You keep talking about the joystick drift. I'll grab it.
I was gonna say a video of RGT85 fixing Joy-Con drift would be him breaking the controller and then running to GameStop and buying a new controller. But look, there's no drift.
You're not wrong, dude. Because I don't know. I'm not good with tools and stuff like that.
Okay, so I found it at a thrift store. It was $5. I forgot I actually had ordered a backlight for it a while ago, but it's the gold one. And it's the actual shell from Nintendo because it still has the 1-800 line on the back.
That's sick.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I backlit it. So what is this? It's yellow, Pokemon Yellow, and it's got like a greenish tint to it.
It looks like a Game Boy Light.
That's what I was going for. I was like, Sean has that Game Boy Light, and I don't, and I want a Game Boy Light.
Game Boy Lights are awesome. I love mine.
I love my Game Boy Light. The battery efficiency is great, dude. John, I am jealous as hell. That is gorgeous. If you end up making another, dude, if you end up making another, I will buy it off you. That is gorgeous. I want it for my collection because I have I have a backlit original Game Boy now, and I have a backlit Game Boy Advance, like one of the big ones. So I need a Pocket now.
Yeah, I'm happy with it though. The screen on the Pocket is nice. You put a backlight behind it, it's really nice. It's a pain though to do it. I went a little further than I think most people do because have you guys watched any of the tutorials online for how to do it at all?
No,
I have. Yeah.
The guy who did mine explained how it worked and sent me pictures of the parts, so I know how it's done.
Yeah, people like try to, because you got to work around that ribbon cable, like to peel off the. I just decided the ribbon cable. I'm not working around this thing. I actually recorded it too, so maybe I'll video up tomorrow for me actually doing it and creating it. But it came out nice. The front part's all glass. I got one of those glass ones on the front, so it's nice, man. It's sweet. So I'm very happy with it. Nice. But I want to get one of those Game Boy Advance ones that's like the LCD. That's what I want.
They're great, man. I love mine. I play it all the time.
I saw yours. Yeah, I was like, I need that. I need that. But I'm still gonna find a light though at someday. They didn't have it at too many games this year, Sean. I think you got the only one that was like traveling around with that convention the year before. Yeah. So, but you're coming back. You're coming back next year. Too many games. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe that means it'll show up then. We'll see. So let me ask you guys a bit about GTA 5. Did you guys see the new update for GTA 5?
I did the whole casino thing.
This is absolutely amazing because we have EA like sitting down with governments and like Senate hearings and all this stuff, trying to explain how FIFA does not have any kind of gambling, and Rockstar and Take-Two, they just put a casino like straight up in their game. They just put a casino in there. I am amazed at their courage right now. Well, so they just don't care.
Two things I want to point out. So I played the update. Two things that are the worst about it, in my opinion, is A, this does legally classify as gambling, because if you are in a country that it's illegal to gamble, you can't touch the tables in the casino. Right. If you walk up to them, the buildings exist, the update exists, but walking up, it literally says in your language, you cannot in your country. Additionally, there is bonuses for visiting the casino each day. There's basically a free daily quest where you can spin and get special items that you can only get in the casino. They are trying to get you addicted. They are trying to get you into that stupid place.
Is there any age restriction though? If you're in a country that you can gamble?
No, I mean, literally, it's just go into the game. And the biggest issue is somebody's been quoting that they apparently mostly it's younger to mid-range teenagers that play GTA 5. The lion's share of the audience that's playing it long term are like 16-year-olds playing with their friends. So they're going there now and gambling in the game with the millions they've earned. So they're not necessarily buying a bunch of shark cards, but you're definitely getting kids to gamble.
I heard a rumor. I don't know if this is true because I didn't look into it or anything. But is there a real money aspect to it aside from the shark cards and all? Like, can you just gamble real money?
No, you can't. And additionally, what they decided to do is you can use. They're doing the howling thing. I apologize. So basically, what happens is you can spend money on shark cards, which gives you in-game money, but then they cap the amount of chips you can buy per day. So you don't just spend money on the slot machine. You buy casino chips.
It's like 50,000. It's 50,000 chips per in-game day, which is an hour. So basically every hour you can buy 50,000 chips. But the idea is the way they're getting around all this is that you can't then cash your chips out. So they're like, you're buying in-game currency and then you're actually gambling, but you can't cash them out to like you can't put it back on your Visa card or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they are skating that line. They are in gray area right now.
I'll be on. Oh, go ahead, Dreamcast guy. Sorry.
Last note that I'll throw to you, OJ. My main issue is that they've now put a bunch of cool new cars, a new house, and a new set of clothing that are only accessible by actually doing the gambling. You actually win them. But
what's crazy is like some companies are so scared of doing slot machine stuff. Like Pokemon used to have like slot machines in their games, the old ones, and they took them out like as they went along through the series. And GTA 5 just puts in, they got blackjack, they got poker, they got slot machine, they got all of it. What were you saying, OJ?
I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. This is absolutely disgusting. This reminds me of like, I don't know, like a beautiful girl that you see, but you know she has something. Are you still going to go up and talk to her? Probably not. You know, at least I'm not going to. Maybe some of y'all out there, but I'm not going to do that. That's just disgusting.
Well, you can't just like a girl for her personality?
Yeah. What does she have?
Not if she's going to...
How curable is this?
I mean,
hey, man.
Yeah, a little bit of ointment, you'll be fine.
Man, that's what y'all do. So I ain't messing with that. That's what you guys do. I don't do that. But I'm just saying, like, this just seems so scummy. It seems like disgusting. Like, I don't know. And this just affirms me that I'm never going to play another GTA game ever again. I've never been a big fan, but it seems like they are just like... The thing that
kills me is that their single player part is good, but they won't add anything to the single player part. Like, they won't add anything. I don't get it. I guess it's because they're like, we're good. And
to me, it sounds like, you know, they took a bath on Red Dead Redemption 2. The online stuff just completely tanked. And I feel like they had to quickly come up with something to get that money that they had on the books that they were going to make off the game. And they basically just, you know, shoveled this crap casino into the game. And here we are.
So one of the rumors that's going around is apparently there's a lot of lore that's been pointing at this casino now for the last 5 years.
It's been a long time.
And a lot of people actually had sketched out, it looked like that it was going to all culminate in a giant single player DLC. The whole point of that building, apparently everybody thinks, is originally it was going to be like the final piece of the single player story that you'd buy like $20. And instead, at the last minute, they decided to convert it into this because they know that's worth a lot more in the long run, is having a fucking casino.
What boggles my mind is if Red Dead Redemption's online is doing so poorly, the second one, why don't they just make it free to play? Like, you just go on the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store and you just download Red Dead Redemption 2 online, and that's it. You just play online. It's broken, sure, but it's free. So it's like, okay, yeah, it's broken. That's fine.
If they can't stop kids using this casino, which is the thing that really concerns the hell out of me, and I'm sure, you know, you guys too, they're going to be in a world of hurt. I mean, they're going to get slapped with some type of lawsuit. Now, obviously, they've done their due diligence and they've gotten lawyers to look over this, you know, 5 or 6 times over and over again. But man, I mean, they have to know that someone's going to be coming after them. This is not right.
But okay, so how old do you have to be to buy a mature rated game at the register?
Yeah, 18.
16, 17. Yeah.
17. How old do you have to be to gamble in a casino? 21, right?
Oh yeah, it is
21.
Yeah, so
that's a pretty large age difference there. Like, and I can't even in some states in the US, you can't even do online gambling. They block you. I have to go up to New Jersey if I want to gamble online.
Well, so something a lot of people, this is not my point, it's something people a lot smarter than I have been saying, is that gambling websites apparently have a series of warnings. They're actually legally required to make you know this is online gambling. It's meant for you to lose money. We are supposed to win. It's supposed to be for entertainment and recreation only. And a lot of people that actually like do gambling commissions are basically saying that what they're doing is immoral. It's not just bad. It's literally like immoral to just have, here's a for funsy thing with no warnings, come on in,
dude. I can't wait for the stories that we're going to hear throughout the rest of the year where literally like the younger kids who are playing the game are just be like, you know what, I'm gonna do a max bet, and they don't have all that money, so it's just gonna pull from their credit cards and they're gonna go in so much real debt to them that means nothing. And we're going to hear all these stories of parents being like, yo, my kid was duped into this. We've seen it in many other games, but this could be on a whole different level if you can bet like high amounts of money and just lose it all.
Well,
like,
here's the real
crazy.
issue. Here's the real issue, Jordan, so lawmakers actually have a harder time understanding what's a loot box, for example, because they don't play video games or anything, so they don't really know. They don't care. If you tell them that a casino is in a game like this that's making obscene amounts of money for Take-Two and Rockstar, they're going to be really mad because they know what a poker table is. They know what a blackjack table is, and they know that they're not taxing it in this game.
No, it's surprise mechanics. It's okay.
So, oh gosh, I wish I knew that. If I was like 16, I'd go to Atlantic City and walk in and be like, "These are surprise mechanics, right? I'm allowed in here." Okay, but that's the biggest problem is they're going to draw the government in with this. It's going to be bad. Like they're absolutely on their way for this, and that's going to make everyone in gaming really, really mad. So it's not going to be fun, but they're pushing that envelope, man. Pushing.
I like Marie's comment here. This is funny stuff. The children are playing a gambling game, but it's okay to play GTA 5 and kill people with cars and guns and go pick up hookers and then go to the strip club. I mean, Marie is not wrong here.
We're good on that, right? Yeah.
I mean, it is an M-rated game, and that stuff isn't M-rated things. It's just the gambling.
I mean, didn't you guys saw Metal Jesus's the thing he put out on Twitter, right? Where he said you got to make sure you're not cursing in your video.
Yeah.
Right? You saw that? Yeah, and then I uploaded a video of Doom where I'm literally blowing people to pieces, and in Doom 3, if you shoot people, you see the brains fall out of their head, and I was fine. I didn't get demonetized or anything.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's an interesting situation in the States.
Isn't gaming fun?
Yes, gaming is fun. Oh man, Evan, Discord questions. What we got?
Let's see. First one. What movie would you like to see made into a video game? They're specifically talking, I guess for them, it's John Wick becoming one.
Oh, well, there is a John Wick game coming.
Yeah. No, that game doesn't count.
It's tactics.
It's like he wants tactics, yeah.
Yeah, but he wants to see it more like a almost Devil May Cry stylish combat.
I agree. That's what I want from a John Wick game.
No, it's got to be like Max Payne.
Oh yeah,
okay, not Devil May Cry because John Wick can't jump up like 3-story, like three buildings high and all this.
Did it say what TV shows, Evan? Is that what you said?
No, just movies.
What movie? Movies. Okay. What movies? Ooh.
I want a Ready Player One VR game. That's just like legit like that. Not like the story of the movie, but like this crazy infinite world of whatever. Not like VR chat, but just this crazy you can do whatever VR.
What were you saying, Max?
So I'm really into horror movies, and last year I absolutely loved Don't Breathe. It's like a horror movie that's almost entirely filmed in the dark. They did like night vision goggle shots because the killer, who's basically trying to hunt these people down, is blind, and it's super interesting. I would love to have like a hide and seek style horror game based on that, where we're put in different scenarios that sort of incapacitate us in different ways. It'd be really cool to try and escape scenarios before you get killed. I would love.
I've decided after watching it the other day that I want Rocksteady to be working on a Shazam game.
That's a good vote. That's a good.
It was an alright movie. Yeah, it was an alright movie.
It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, and I was like, you know what, Rocksteady is doing something in the DC universe. What if they're doing Shazam and not like Suicide Squad or something crazy? Something dumb. Let's do Shazam.
I'd like a house guest game.
What?
House Guest starring Sinbad. I think that'd be a good game.
It's a classic, honestly.
It's a classic. It's a great movie. You have to fool these people into thinking that you're a dentist and you're staying with them, but you're really not. You're just a criminal who's on the run.
Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
In the same
what
way
about House Party 4?
So this would be like a Telltale style game, just like talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, in the same vein, man, I would love to see Friday, next Friday, Friday after the next, get all three of them on there. Telltale. That would
done
be
episodic
hilarious.
as well. Oh, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, that would be great, man. Craig and Day Day. This is
real gaming.
This is real gaming. Oh man, that's great. Evan, what's the other Discord question we got there, man?
Any chance Capcom ever remasters Beautiful Joe 1 and 2?
I hope so.
It'd be nice.
It would be nice.
I doubt it.
Oh, that'd be
easy money, but they won't do it.
That'd be great, but now it's not going to happen because we
actually Capcom is listening. They just decided not to, based on us just having this conversation. They're gonna whoever asked that we just ruined it for us.
They're gonna come out with the remaster Beautiful Joe 1. It'll be $50.
digital only.
Don't you jinx us.
It's only in 480p still. They literally just moved it over. You know what? Game apparently everyone wants remade right now, or at least put on the Switch is Paper Mario.
Yeah.
I saw this trending on Twitter. This is impressive. Arlo put that out there and it started trending on Twitter. Everybody wants 1,000-Year Door, and I'm okay with that. I think that will be good. I played it on the GameCube when we had the HDMI thing, and it still looks good. But if they took that and they moved it up to like 1080p and 720p, docked and undocked, it would look, those visuals I think would move over really well to a higher resolution if they did a little bit of work to them. That would be awesome because the current ones aren't very good. Paper Mario's. That was like the pinnacle of the series right there. So I would like to see that. What was the Discord question, Evan? Do we have another one?
Do you think people will regret neglecting physical media for the sake of convenience in the future?
Probably. You know what? People are going to regret it every time Drive Club happens, where it gets ripped off the stores and shuts down. Or, like you were just saying, MVG, what was that? Doom?
Yeah.
What got ripped down? Yeah. See,
Xbox Live Arcade version, which is the best version of the game.
There you go. Gone. Disappears. Is RGP's mom?
That's so fucked, but it's funny. Oh god, so random.
Your mom's a funny broad, John. John.
We're gonna say we'll save. How many other questions we have, Evan? 2?
3. We'll save them for later.
We'll save them because I want to talk a bit about the Stadia AMA. Did anyone see a bit about what happened here with Stadia? Because it wasn't good. It wasn't. This is Sean.
I'm shocked.
I didn't see it, but I heard it was bad, so maybe you can fill us in.
Okay, so the big highlights that I saw was that they want to charge obviously $10 a month, right, for their 4K option, but they specifically say they don't want to have like a Netflix. They don't want to be like a Netflix for gaming. They want to be compared to Xbox Live or like PlayStation.
There ain't no Game Pass
or online, but they don't want to have like they're going to have some games, but they say 1 game per month, give or take, which means you might not have any games for a month.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Kind of, I know.
Give or take a game or two. Well, maybe there's a game, maybe not. Who knows?
Kind of an issue.
It definitely sounds like some people are trying to spin this to be a positive, but 100%, it sounds like you're going to have to keep paying $10 a month, and sometimes you get a reward, and sometimes you just get to continue using the shit you already paid $10 a month.
Wait, every 6 months, you pay $10. Every 6 months, you get a full brand new game for.
Yeah, I see what you're trying to say. You're saying like
good strategy.
It's a good strategy. Hey, twice a year, you get a game.
So it's $10 a month for the 4K option. The 1080p option will be free next year, we believe. We don't have a time for that, but November they're going to launch their 4K service, $10 a month. The games this seemed to catch a lot of people off guard. The games will be full price, so they're going to be $6 a piece,
give or take.
Give or take. And the other issue, someone asked them, what happens if Stadia goes away? What happens to my purchases? And the only thing I can guarantee is that you can back up your save data.
Yeah, but I mean, their other thing was a solid spin of, we don't plan on that happening. It's like, okay,
yeah,
sure.
I hate that answer. I hate when it's like, hey, what happens if this what if this happens like Google Hangouts, or what happened to the original version of Google Docs, or what if it happens if it's like Google Glass, and they're just like, oh, it's not like every other fucking thing we've ever done. Google Stadia's magic.
That's the problem we're running into.
Because even with Valve and Steam, they've come forward and have commented several times that if they do ever plan on, for some reason, shutting it down, they would give a decent amount of time for you to literally just download your games, back them up to physical, and just keep them without DRM. Yeah. So like,
and apparently they want to work with Steam in some capacity. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if you can import games there or be able to stream your games through Stadia service, or I don't know how all that would even work. But it does not. The more that they explain the service, the worse it sounds.
Yeah.
Like it's I am really concerned. So I'm gonna check it out because I ordered that Founders Edition thing, and I don't know how I want to see that controller, man. That controller's, out of everything that we've talked about, the controller's the most interesting thing to me, because I want to see if they actually can make a good controller. That's about it. I've already used it with Assassin's Creed when they did their like Project Stream thing last year, and I actually thought it looked okay and it was fairly responsive. But I'm telling you, xCloud's gonna run over this thing. Like, if Game Pass, xCloud are all rolled into one, and it's part of that Xbox Live Ultimate package. So you have Game Pass on PC, Game Pass on your Xbox, and Game Pass on xCloud, and it's $15 a month. I don't see how Stadia competes with that, with the current library on Game Pass right now.
We have to say goodbye to someone.
Yeah, I need to run. Unfortunately, it's extremely loud where I'm at. I apologize. I'm actually having trouble hearing people. I just want to remind people, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a dog charity stream. If you're not subscribed to me, tomorrow at, I think, 1 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be actually here at Bethesda, and I'm going to be streaming I think I'm going to be streaming Doom, and there's going to basically be a bunch of puppies with me. We're going to be having links so you can adopt the dogs. We're going to be trying to get good homes. I already met the puppies. They're very nice. They're all rescues. Some of them came from some very bad homes. We're trying to find them good places to live. So much love to you guys, and I'll see you all there tomorrow.
Oh, cool. All right. Sounds good, Max. Make sure you guys check that out tomorrow. Cool. All right.
Later, dude.
Have fun.
Bye.
Cool.
And then there was 6.
So yeah, Stadia. I'm not feeling Stadia right now. I feel like I'm kind of disappointed when it comes out.
You know,
Don't say that. The community, this cloud gaming community is going to come after you.
Dude, I mean, come on. xCloud looks so much better, and we haven't even seen xCloud or used it. And it based on it being linked to Game Pass alone is enough for people to be like, yeah, it's probably gonna be better.
I mean, I have no problem spending money on dumb shit, and I've done it in the past many times, but I'm not even contemplating getting this device, not even for like review purposes. I mean, apart from you, Spawnwave, any of you other guys like looking at getting this thing? Because there's nothing there that really interests me at all.
I got my Stadia coming in the mail, baby.
I have no interest in it. They haven't given me a reason to have interest in it. I feel so.
Right.
You know, just
Did you see there's Destiny 2, the full Destiny?
The game that's going free to play, and you're gonna have to pay a monthly to play it on that thing. Yeah.
No.
I don't know why you're bringing up all the negative things. Can we be a bit more positive about the situation?
I am positively sure I'm not buying it.
I bought it. And I'm going to be very happy with it when it comes in, and you guys are all going to
listen. I was excited when they first showed it off.
I seriously bought it. Yes, I did. I bought it.
I feel like Stadia at Google. I feel like Microsoft has been building their xCloud up forever now with Game Pass and their Azure servers and stuff, and it feels like Google just started this like a year and a half ago or a year ago. So I don't know how they're going to be able to compete with xCloud right away. I think xCloud will have a better, and it's only on Pixel devices, right? Like that's it. You can only play it on like 3 phones.
Yeah.
It's like what? Okay. And the xCloud apparently is going to be ready for Android, I think, and iOS all at once. So I don't know. The controller. I'm interested in the controller. That's the biggest thing. I
open it up.
No.
Oh.
Open it up. We're gonna see what's going on in there.
The chat might be a little confused. Yes, I actually did buy the Founders Edition of Stadia.
Yeah, you told me you bought it. I was like, all right. See, OJ's in. He's in.
I'm in. Me and John tag team. Tag me in. John tagged me in. Let's go. Stadia tag team. Let's do it.
I'm waiting for the PlayStation Classic $20 deal special when it comes out for the Stadia in about 6 months after release. Then I'll get one.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Dude, $20 for that PlayStation Classic. It is worth it, I think, for that. $20.
Absolutely.
$20.
That's when I got it.
I got it too.
I bought that thing for $100. That's
Me
great.
too.
Okay.
Well, it's just a write-off.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, really. So, Sean, I need help.
Go on.
I've been playing this WWE 2K18 game this whole time. I need a better wrestling game.
We got one coming, boys. Retro Mania Wrestling was officially unveiled today on the channel. It's something I've known about for a little while. It's just a matter
did you read Nintendo Everything too? Is that where your video came from? You read through the video on that?
No, all the other websites actually, sourced the video that it came from. That hurt, man. That hurt. Like I get it, totally link their press release, but like there's a reason why that press release went up at 4 p.m. Eastern time, because that's when I told them, I said, hey, your video for the game is going up at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So, there was a reason for it. But yeah, it's a in my opinion, as someone who's played pretty much like every wrestling game ever, there are 3 pillars in the video game wrestling community. If you're looking for the hardcore experience, you have the Fire Pro series. If you're looking for a hardcore but pick up and play experience, you're looking at the Aki games on the N64. If you're looking for the arcade experience, you're looking at WrestleFest. That's just how it goes down. And this game is definitely a spiritual successor to WrestleFest. I think it's going to be really cool. It looks good. It looks a lot like WrestleFest. They're working on getting a bunch of different guys on the roster. Obviously, one of the things that's tough for them is being an independent wrestling game, and considering how the WWE gets all these people under Legends contracts. Like back in the day, you used to have the Legends of Wrestling series where you had all the independent guys that weren't signed to the WWE in those games. You had, you know, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, RVD like in the same game because they were free agents. But now that WWE does the Legends contracts, a lot of these guys are under Legends contracts. So I hope they're able to get, you know, some other guys. I think they should probably look at getting some of the bigger indie guys. But then once again, you have AEW coming in. So they kind of got screwed on the timing, I feel. But yeah, I think it's a really cool looking game. And, you know, it's wrestling and it's going to actually work on the Switch. And,
I have a
you know, you
question.
can actually play it. What's up?
Is CM Punk in the game?
He is very anti-wrestling right now, but there is a chance that he's going to pop up in AEW based on some things that I've heard. So, you know, he would be tough.
You know, Sean, with that inside wrestling knowledge over there, man.
I know people.
What about Norman Smiley? Is he going to be in the game?
Norman Smiley is actually a trainer for the WWE. He's at the Performance Center.
What about Conan? Is he going to be in the game?
He just asked.
You know, Conan could be. Conan is viable. Would they want Conan? I'm not sure.
I'm big stupid. You can slap me at any moment.
So you had a whole video though with Stevie Richards and everything. So
yep, Stevie came back on the channel. Stevie is in the game as well.
Hey, RGT85. Hey, Sean. Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards.
Yep, he's back. He's back.
That was a great video. I enjoyed it.
It was fun to make.
Yeah.
And then see that right there, all the people say, you stretch your videos to be 10 minutes long. There's your proof.
The real question.
5 minutes long.
Stretch your videos
Wait. Was it 5.5 minutes and then 4.5 minutes of black screen afterwards?
No, it was 5.5 minutes. Just that's it.
I thought you literally. I thought it was actual proof.
Why are people acting like that's a problem or something?
OJ, you're not asking the real questions.
What's the real question?
Sean, are you in the game in any capacity?
I'm not, but there's a chance that you may see me in the crowd.
Can they put like a logo of yours somewhere, like someone holding a sign with your logo?
I would rather just be in the crowd, maybe wearing my shirt, the RGT85 logo shirt. So yeah, I mean, the game's scheduled for a Q1 release, and yes, the hit to my head was corny, but I had to think of a way to get asleep because that was sort of because I basically told Stevie like what my idea was like a week and a half ago, and then he sent it to me, and so I kind of had to base it on what he was doing, and I was like, I gotta fall asleep somehow.
Couldn't you just done a bit where you just got in bed and fell asleep?
I mean, I could have, but you know, physical harm is you know, more fun.
That's true. But you could have fallen asleep with like a pizza half eaten in your bed and like.
You should have just started the video off with the first half of your award-winning short film.
You're not wrong. Shout out to the editor of that.
Yeah, that guy has gone on to some places. Shout out to him.
Oh man, that was good though, Sean. That was a fun video, and we can look forward to a new wrestling game that will run at more than 5 frames per second. So
right.
I mean, I'm not the biggest wrestling video game fan in the world, but I did play WrestleFest, and when I saw your video today, man, I saw the graphics. I'm like, man, this looks legit. So I'm gonna definitely check it out.
Oh, yeah. Is there gonna be online?
Yes, they're shooting for online and local co-op, multiplayer as well. They're kind of hesitant on the creator wrestler because obviously that's something that a lot of people want, but I think they're kind of a newer studio, but it's definitely something they're looking into. Looking at a Q1 2020 release. So, and there's some more characters that are coming. It wasn't, there wasn't a paid video or anything like that. I just like wrestling games. I knew Stevie Richards was involved. He's a friend of mine. So I wanted to give them some good publicity, and it's worked out. A lot of websites have covered it. A lot of wrestling blogs have covered it and shit. So, the reception was good. I'm glad for them that they got some shine, and cool. It was fun to make the video.
Cool. Very good. Very good. Let me go through some of these super chats. We got some of those Discord questions as well, Evan, we can go through. Eric says, it's okay, guys. I had no idea that Fire Emblem was completely different. Oh, and no DRM. There you go. No DRM Fire Emblem. A lot of these games Nintendo comes out with, and we hear about Wolfenstein having microtransactions. Fire Emblem could easily have, like, like a whole slew of microtransactions, like
it does on the
EXP
phone.
boosters, all the. Well, yeah, but that's Fire Emblem Heroes. That's in their gotcha universe over there. But I mean, like this Fire Emblem, the $6 game.
Fire Emblem's had some pretty weird DLCs.
It's DLC,
before.
right?
Yeah, but it's been like very weird-ish, kind of microtransaction-ish type of DLC.
Oh.
And Fire Emblem Awakening has a lot of weird, small, just like
interesting. I'm thinking of like we sign in, we go in a menu, and it's like you can play the game, or you can buy this EXP booster and level up 10 times like that.
They almost had something like they actually had something like that, like dungeons in Awakening that like get you fast experience, fast gold. So they actually had now you only pay for it once, and it gives you a crap ton. But it's not quite like it, but they did have that, and people have been complaining about the 3DS games, the DLC practices and everything. But you got to remember, Intelligent Systems is actually not owned by Nintendo. People still think that they are, but they're actually not. But it's still Nintendo allowing them to do that.
It's published by Nintendo.
By Nintendo. But this time the DLC plans are a lot better. It's just one expansion pass. It's $24. This is actually their cheapest DLC for everything ever. And since the new game started having DLC, this is the cheapest that we've ever gotten it. Because last time Echoes, the DLC season pass was actually more expensive than the game.
See, I always see it like whenever a big company gets like another studio that they don't own and they make the game, there's always like DLC or something attached to it. So I like expect it now. Like Spider-Man had DLC the month after it came out, and I was like, you know what, that makes sense. It's Insomniac that made it, not Sony, or Santa Monica or something. So whereas God of War had New Game Plus for free, so it's like, it's the way it is when you get these deals going and everything to get it done. Melvin Moss with the Pro Controller for Sean. I got to see that video, Sean, when you review the Pro Controller.
Oh yeah, it'll be good.
It's gonna hit trending.
Yeah, man. Especially if you unbox like a PlayStation 4 controller and you think it's a PS4 Pro Controller. Yeah, I would laugh. So, that'd be great. Johnny Rosado said, "Can I play Fire Emblem without ever playing any of them?"
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
There we go.
This one more so than any of them.
This one, you think this one's a little easier to get into?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the reason why I think it's a little bit easy, the tutorial is a lot better than what they did before. The tutorial's better, and there's auto everything. There's auto everything and tutorial, and you can just basically just battle if you want to, or you can just not only that, but like even like your choices, you can just, if it's hooked up to the internet, you can just see what everybody else is doing and just pick what everybody else is picking. If you want to just pick the most popular.
What were you saying? MVG?
I was just going to say, man, I'm probably the most casual Fire Emblem player there is, and I haven't played. The last game I really got into was a GameCube version before this one, quite honestly. And man, it's really easy.
Do you have the GameCube version?
I did have the game, but I no longer have it. And
I need to get it. I need to get it for my series, so I got to check.
I'm very unhappy about that because it's worth like $150 now or something.
Oh yeah, I'm looking.
But yeah, man, I mean, it's really easy to get back into that game. Very, very easy.
Cool. All right, there you go, Johnny. I would pick it up. It seems like it's going to be quite a bit of time at 80 hours per house, apparently, in this game. So.
And I think the biggest issue, like if you look at it from like the previous Fire Emblem games, is like the whole permadeath thing. Unless you're talking about like Awakening and Fates and all that, but all the previous games before that all have permadeath. And
so you might like this one then, because you can put it on casual and try it out and get used to it, and then you can try permadeath run if you want. And
there's no like HD games with better presentation. There's just the 3DS games, So this is the one that has the presentation and has the easier modes in there, whereas the other games are hard as hell, for the most part.
240p, man. Let's go.
Yeah, that 3DS it's very difficult.
It's tough. It's tough to go back now.
Oh yeah, it's oh my gosh, it's like 3 generations jump, dude.
Johnny Rosado says, "I'll cover the tax for RGT's Pro Controller." There you go.
I'll give you my PayPal after the show, John. Don't you worry.
There you go. Sean's about to get that Pro Controller.
Oh yeah.
I could just order it for you on Amazon.
I mean,
it shows up.
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
I can do that too. Yeah, make it easy, just so it just ships right to your house.
Okay, yeah, do that. That's cool.
Joshua says, "First time catching you live. You're all amazing." Thank you, Joshua. Johnny Rosado says, "Favorite Zelda game? Mine is Link to the Past." You've chosen well, Johnny, because that's my favorite one as well. But what's everyone's favorite Zelda game?
Link to the Past.
See?
Ocarina.
Phantom Hourglass.
Wow. Okay. How do I
take this man off? He's joking. That's a joke, right?
What are you talking about?
Okay. Mine's Breath of the Wild, but okay.
Okay. Breath of the Wild. What about Evan over there?
I would give Breath of the Wild a very close second.
Just for the story and the way I liked it, it would be Majora's for me.
You liked it because it was really dark.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or Link's Awakening. I always prefer the stories where it's not just the I have to save the princess story.
Oh,
it's
see,
just
Evan's all
side
about
story.
Oh, you're on that Link's Awakening remake, aren't you? You're on that.
I'll try it
I've
out.
only ever beaten 2 Zelda games fully, and that's
What
Breath of the Wild and Phantom Hourglass. So that's why
Mistakes were made.
Hold on, hold on.
I've played a bunch of them. I just never beaten all of them.
Jordan, I'm gonna need you to go play Link to the Past all the way through. How far did you get Link to the Past?
I don't remember.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the controls for Discord, so you're safe right now. But
we gotta give him a hard time on the podcast, on my podcast too, man.
Dude, well, here's the good news, Jordan. I think Super Nintendo games are gonna come to that app for the Switch.
In like
and
2 or 3
years.
years.
When I see it.
I'm pretty sure Link to the Past is gonna be one of the big ones they drop first. So you got to jump on that, man. I'm telling you.
I'll play it. I have nothing
really
against them. I just never played them growing up. So.
It's really, really good, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, if you didn't have a I didn't play A Link to the Past, like play and beat it until I was until I was like in my late teens or 20s, because I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. I had a Genesis.
Jordan, don't you have a Super Nintendo Classic?
I do.
Okay, well,
yeah, Sean can't help you now. Yeah, what?
I tried to help you there, but not.
I mean, I don't.
You have
I have no way of playing this game.
Whoa, Jordan,
So
don't you stream though on Twitch, right?
Barely at this point.
I haven't seen him doing it for a while.
I don't have time for that right now.
Stream the playthrough for Link to the Past, man.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of work.
It's not, dude. Link to the Past goes by. It's a fast moving game when you get into it. It really starts moving. But dude, that's where Ocarina of Time got its ideas for the dungeon setup and everything. And it has Light World, Dark World. It's such a good game overall, man. Like
I should just replay Phantom Hourglass. Is what you're saying,
dude? I'm telling you, it will blow your mind how far ahead of its time that game was.
You should play Wind Waker if you like Phantom. I mean, they don't.
I played a few hours into Wind Waker back in the day. But
Wind Waker HD is fantastic. That's actually my second favorite.
I am not plugging in my Wii U.
Hey man, it actually works really well on that system. Believe it or not.
Let me know when they report it to the Switch. Then I'll buy it again.
It might play worse because Wind Waker, the map is so helpful to have on that bottom screen. Actually, to be honest.
Do you know what'll blow your mind though? Is Link to the Past was 1 megabyte in file size.
1 megabyte.
1 megabyte. That's tiny, dude. That's tiny. Yeah, that is really small. So yeah, you got to play that, Jordan. I'm telling you, man. It's worth it. It's worth it. Even now, it's aged perfectly. It's fine. You can play it. Yep. Jack says remaster 1,000 Year Door. I agree. I think we just need a good Paper Mario in general, and I don't know if Nintendo's capable of putting one out. So yeah, just remaster 1,000 Year Door.
Next Direct, I'll announce it.
There. Okay.
Intelligent Systems does Paper Mario, but the good Paper Mario. Well, they do all the Paper Marios, but that's the development team that does it. So
who? Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's right. That makes sense.
Fire Emblem developer, they make the crappy ones and they make the good ones. They make the good ones and the crappy ones.
Oh man, they just need to go back to square one, look at 1,000 Year Door, and just figure it out from there.
But that's at the direction of what Nintendo wants them to do, by the way. Just keep that in mind. But I think the biggest thing with this whole thing, it's going to be what they want to do going forward. Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario. What are they going to do with that? You know?
Nintendo's going to look at the trending and they'll be like, they want Color Splash too. All right.
They're going to make Mario. Luigi
the people have spoken.
They're going to make Mario and Luigi Color Splash. That's what they're going to do.
They get the next Inside Story. It'll be good.
That's what they're going to do, right?
RGT's mom says, you need me to drive you to get the Pro, Shawnee?
I'm good. Spawn's ordering it now, so it'll just show up at the house. We're good. We'll go with it.
Sean, what's your address?
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I was like, don't actually say it.
It's 555.
See if you didn't realize you start saying it. Like, Sean, hold on. Yurtman says, will the ColecoVision games ever be worth anything?
ColecoVision?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like at one point Atari games were worth something, and then they crashed hard.
Atari. I think anything pre-NES is whatever it's at is the highest it'll be at, and then it'll just go down from here on out, because a lot of it's tied into nostalgia. Like, look at the PS2 right now. You know, PS2s are selling like crazy because that's what kids growing up then are now that have income from having a job or wanting to play.
Well, it's sort of a perfect storm blend, because not only is it just based on the money that wants to go into it, it's based on how much is there. So if a lot of the games just get destroyed randomly in a fire, who knows? and some really rich people are all of a sudden like, I want to play Coleco games, and then that's really what would trigger it. But that's
you said that like there's a plan in the background, Evan.
I'm not
saying much.
I'm sitting on a bunch of rare product right now that he wants to up the value for.
It's not rare. It's not rare right now, Fringe.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You said it. You set the precedent, and you're like, oh, I happen to have all this. Let me just open up an eBay store.
I think right now PlayStation 1 and PS2 and original Xbox are creeping up in price, and GameCube as well. Obviously, it's like you guys said. I mean, I think it's just that era now where those disc-based games from Generation 5 and 6 are really starting to get up in price, and the NES stuff and the Super NES stuff, that's all come and gone. That's peaked, and it's kind of at where it is now. But yeah, now it's all about the disc-based stuff. It's going to get expensive.
I'm fighting that GameCube market right now, man. It's tough.
I feel like
GameCube. Oh, geez.
I feel like
I'm fighting it, man.
Yeah, I feel like the disc-based. I feel like disc-based stuff really like grows simply because the foil rot, the stuff we kept seeing at the store, John, where the foil just like start peeling off in sections. That's it. Your game's done. So it self-destroys. Whereas the solid-state stuff is a little bit harder.
I need this gotcha force.
Oh, good luck, man.
Yeah. Man. Rich Shadow, no message, $2. Thanks, Rich Shadow. Adam says, I'm waiting on the Switch Lite to come out. I have already bought 7 games. Thanks to y'all. And has anyone looked at Kill la Kill?
Nate
Didn't
did.
Nate looked at
Did.
it?
Yeah. Nate's busy swimming laps right now, so
Yeah, that's a way to put it.
and then I have John Shoulders for charity. When, where? Well, there's a wrestling game coming out next year, right, Sean?
There is.
There you go. So you need a wrestling skit or something for that, right? There you go. You never know. You never know. Can we have we can hold like a whole wrestling skit or something for that? There you go, right, Sean? You're gonna do a whole review on that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get in the ring and wrestle with no experience.
Dude, they have that at too many games, man. They have cosplay wrestling. You can sign up for it.
Sean, you ready? You and me.
I'll take some. I'll go through tables and shit. I don't care.
Dude, I'm down. Let's make the best match ever. We'll get fake blood tablets. We'll make it go crazy.
Fake blood? Nah, dude. I'll do a blade job and just.
Okay.
You take some aspirin to make your blood thinner, and then you cut yourself. Plus, I bleed like a stuck pig, anyways. You saw what happened when I cut. Or you weren't there.
But was that back in your Dr. Pepper days though?
That.
So it might be a little bit better now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's.
I do. I honestly believe that Sean would blade in the ring.
Yeah,
no experience at all or how to do anything. I really do think you would do that.
I mean, I know pro wrestlers. I can ask them, be like, hey,
guys, you're gonna want to be at Too Many Games next year. Everyone come to Too Many Games.
Someone's gonna do like an arm drag takedown on Sean, and he's gonna come up with like a full mask of blood,
like Flair, just pouring blood out of my face.
Oh man, that'd be great. Eric says, OJ, I love you, but Petra is mine.
Oh, okay, you can have her.
Petra, okay.
There you go.
Grubby Canine says, Player Essence, nice Hunter x Hunter shirt.
Hey.
Oh God, don't even get him started. Every time I talk to this guy, it's the best thing ever. It has the best morals and anything I've ever watched. Like,
dude, you don't understand.
I do understand.
Is that on like a network like Netflix or something, or
it's on Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll. Okay.
Yeah.
Eric says, so Konami is looking better. They're doing the turbo graphics. The mini.
Yeah, I wasn't really that psyched about it initially, but now all of a sudden, I think I'm going to get one.
I think so too. I have to get it. I mean, it's only on Amazon, which is interesting. I don't know if they got a deal with Amazon or what, but not in store. Yeah, I'm getting one too, though. Definitely. That'll be interesting to see. Colin's Tech Review, $2. No message. Thanks, Colin. The Duke Spruce says, that is anyone as excited for Astral Chain as I am. Yeah, Astral Chain's looking. They keep releasing more gameplay trailers, and it keeps looking better and better. It's like going the opposite direction of Stadia. Like it just keeps looking better and better every time I see it released. It's still a month away, but man, I'm ready for that game.
Yeah, man, that's a game of the year contender as well, in my opinion. Unless they pull a Wolfenstein and switch it all around. But I don't even
put that out into the world.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Just a point-and-click adventure.
A contender.
I think
it's just a click.
It looks like they've spent a lot of time. There's a lot of polish to that game. So they must have been working on that thing for a while with Nintendo. So I'm hopeful. I think it's going to be really good though. So it's looking good anyway. Tifa says, thank you for SpawnCast. Video games have helped me deal with the chronic lower back pain I have suffered from since age 16.
You'd have to read that full name out to get the full
What's
meta
the name,
of it.
Evan?
I'm not saying it.
What's the name, Evan?
I'm gonna give this to Sean. Sean, go ahead.
I'm a family friendly YouTuber, man.
I'm not. It's Tifa's big anime boobs or something like that.
Yeah, close enough.
I thought it was an honest comment at first, and because I think Max typed in the chat. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry you've been dealing with back problems. I'm glad video games can help you." But now that I think about it and put two and two together, it's like, I don't think that was real.
Eric says Stadia is dumber than me. Johnny asks, I think this is for Sean. How did you get in contact with Big Stevie Cool?
So basically, he made a video talking about the Switch, and I commented on it. And I was like, "Hey, it's a cool video." And on Twitter, actually, or was it on YouTube? I don't remember. But he actually hit me up on Twitter and was like, "Yeah, I like your videos. I've been watching your stuff." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Well, I'm a huge wrestling fan." And we just started talking, exchanged, details on talking on Facebook or whatever. And we linked up and did that WWE 2K18 review because I thought it would be cool to have him on. And then he's actually in Retro Mania Wrestling. He's one of the characters. All the BWO is in there. And he even has the Stevie Richards fitness arena that's going to be in the game as well. So, it's perfect to have him back on the channel for that.
Okay. Very cool. RGT's mom says, I hate Jason Lapine.
That's a great comment. He's actually camping right now. And I don't know what he's doing. I took a picture of that and sent it to him. So he doesn't have service, but that'll be the first thing he sees when he gets service. So thank you for that.
Oh man. Dreamcast guy's mom says, I was scandalized by the revelations of Alinity abusing her cat. Thank you for your coverage of this issue, OJ.
No problem.
Okay. All right. Legendary Link, $1, no message. Johnny says, RGT, what's with what in the box? I miss it. What's in the box? I miss it.
I got to get the P.O. box set up. I still got to get up with my cousin. She unfortunately is going through some personal issues, so I don't want to be like, hey, you need to come down here inside the P.O. box, because I still don't have when you move from state to state, when you get to a post office box, they want you to have a license for the state that you now live in, and my license is for where I used to live, so I have to get her to co-sign it and be on the thing. So
okay,
it'll come back though. I know I've been saying that forever, but I promise.
Rikuki 2 says, who's ready for Evo next week?
I am.
I'm probably gonna stream some of it on my channel.
I'll watch a bit of it.
Twitch.
Okay.
I am ready for Evo. Smash Brothers is closing out Evo. You've got the biggest tournaments ever. Mortal Kombat, for Dragon Ball Fighters. There's going to be everybody there. Japan is showing up in full force. Oh my gosh, it's going to be fantastic.
All of Japan.
Is that?
Yeah, literally all of Japan's bosses for Dragon Ball Fighters and for Smash Brothers. So it's definitely, and Japan has these hidden bosses, man, that are like killing it there, and they're going to be there at Evo. So
OJ, every time I hear about at least online, maybe it's just because they're always mentioned when something bad happens with the Smash community, these tournaments that happen. Is there a chance that there's going to be a headline at Evo about something that the crowd there did?
90%.
I'm trying to figure out if Evo's different. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The Evo, actually, what happens at Evo usually takes precedence on good behavior for the most part, especially with all the stuff that's been going on. People are losing their sponsorships. Kids essentially are losing sponsorships over saying dumb stuff now. It's not now, it's like it's all adults. Now it's like 15-year-olds, and now it's like 18-year-olds. So kids are losing sponsorships because they're saying dumb things. So I think a lot of people are going to be on their best behavior because there's going to be a lot of sponsors there, and there's a lot of these kids that want to get picked up. So I think everybody's going to be on their best behavior. But I mean, I think everybody found out now, it doesn't matter how young you are, you got to be careful now. So I think the whole thing that happened recently with the two kids, I don't want to say their name, but the two kids, I think that's woken up a lot of people, because both of them probably are never going to get sponsored, or it's going to be very hard for them to get sponsors now.
Yeah, because they're out there like throwing wildlife on people with crabs and stuff, right? So
They're saying a lot of dumb things.
That was I will say I went on like online and it was like someone threw a crab at somebody.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, what?
That was that was a scrub, but I'm talking about like that was
okay, that's fine.
He's a scrub, but I'm also talking that was stupid. But I'm talking about like people that are actually higher level players saying dumb things.
Yeah, they're trash talk
to read.
Yeah, they're trash talk or just general things they say are just terrible.
It was just a weird headline. I was like, how did a crab get there? Like, I
somebody threw a crab at Hungry Box. So he just
okay.
Yeah, after he won, he beat Mango and they threw a crab.
Why didn't they throw mangoes instead?
Probably didn't have one on hand.
Yeah, he probably
had a crab on hand.
Yes.
You know, pocket crabs. You have a
pocket
crab.
Mango.
Yes.
Arcade Perfect Review says I shared RGT's vid with Go Nintendo. Hope it helps.
He Go Nintendo did make a story on the post and shared my video along with every other website except for one who didn't want to.
Go Nintendo. They're good over there. They know what they're doing.
Kevin's good people.
Yeah,
Armsy's awesome.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Hey, sometimes everything doesn't help out, you know?
Evan, do you have some Discord questions we can finish out with?
Yeah, I don't really know why, but why is Tetris Effect an Epic Store exclusive when Epic Game Store doesn't even support VR? I don't think that matters.
Well, here's what happened. They still have VR, but it loads up Steam VR in order to make it happen. So the Epic Game Store is using Steam VR essentially. I think they could have used Open VR instead, but for some reason people found that it launches Steam VR. So the Epic Game Store uses like a Steam application to make that work, which is weird. It's like a weird thing to say. People were just laughing about it online, but that's basically why. I mean, they just recently added 2 cloud options to 2 games. So 2 games can now do cloud saves, and that's like the big update recently. So
wow,
yeah, but they also got MechWarrior 5, so there you go. Gotta go there. What was the other Discord question, Evan?
There seems to be just a little confusion with this guy. I think this is the second time he's asked this. When he uses the YouTube app on Switch, when he's in handheld mode, it still offers him 1080p as a suggestion for like what he wants to run it as. And he's like, "Why is that there? Is it a bug or something?" I mean, I'm guessing it's
what is this on?
It's the YouTube app. When you watch a video on YouTube, if you're in handheld, it'll ask you if you want to watch it in 1080, which it's just a thing where they didn't care enough to differentiate between handheld and plugged in, I'm guessing.
I can see that. Maybe even down samples. I don't know. That could be a thing. But I'm not sure about that one. What's the other Discord question, Evan?
The last one's another odd one. What's the chance of, I guess, the main companies, Sony kind of already does this, but Microsoft and Nintendo developing wireless headphones for their systems that are meant to work specifically with their systems, like a little bit better than usual?
Yeah, Sony has their wireless headphones, right? Their wireless Sony headphones. Yeah. I know Microsoft just partners with like Turtle Beach and all this stuff, like the other companies do. I'd like back in the 360 day, we had that one earpiece from Microsoft you could buy. It was like $60, and they even had a Halo Special Edition one.
I have one of those somewhere around here. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they were kind of neat when they came out. I remember the battery life was very good on them. If I remember right.
Probably about 3 hours, 4 hours, maybe.
But that was interesting. I would like to see some of these companies, like Microsoft makes the Elite controller, which the second one's coming out later this year. I'm going to pick that up. But I would like to see some of these companies do their own first party accessories straight across the board like that. So like I would like to see Nintendo figure something like that out as well for their headset, but maybe, I mean, I don't know, I guess licensing it, especially this late in the game, maybe next generation basically, so we'll see. Was that all the Discord questions?
Yep, that covers all of it.
Okay, so why don't we close out with this? I mentioned it earlier in the show, but we're at the end of July. Do we have an obvious game of the year contender with games that are already out right now? Because I'm thinking about this and I'm like, I don't know if we have something like that stood out, like God of War stood out last year. If at this point in time right now, I'd be like, it's God of War. God of War is taking game of the year.
If you're talking specifically games that are out right now, I mean, there's Devil May Cry and Resident Evil 2, and that's really the only 2 that have any chance. And
Sekiro.
Sekiro's that's definitely another one. But I don't think any of those 3 are going to be game of the year. I think it's definitely going to be, whatever comes out later this year, Astral Chain or Doom Eternal or something along those lines.
Borderlands 3,
that'll get a nom for sure.
But Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Are we talking about just like Game Awards, or are we talking about like game sites?
We'll just go with the Game Awards. That's the easy one. I know Death Stranding's. Let's just pretend
Death Stranding's gonna win.
Congrats, Death Stranding.
I don't like using. I don't like using the.
It's going to be the Death Stranding Awards.
Not a huge fan of being like using the Game Awards as like the governing type of body for this type of thing. But hey,
they're so impartial, and they always have great categories. And I'll be honest, last year's wasn't that bad. Last year's show was a step in the right direction.
I think the show's great. I'm not a fan of the picks, but the show's great. Actually, like the actual like the revealing of the new like different video games. That stuff's cool.
Do not talk bad about Jeff Keighley in front of Canadians. I don't know if I've ever told this story on this podcast before.
Boy, story.
You have, but they don't remember. But I remember.
Okay, so Jeff Keighley was tweeted something about this was probably early last year, and he tweeted something that was like, what would you like to see in the Game Awards for 2019? And I tweeted back. Or for 2018. And I tweeted back because I'm an immature 5-year-old. I was like, well, you can make it not suck to start off with. And all of my Canadian YouTube friends like Rerez and JKB were like, don't listen to Sean. He's just being rude and stupid. We love the Game Awards. And what's funny was Jeff Keighley responded to me and not them. And he said, well, what should we do to make it better? And so I just told him. And all the little pandering to the Canadian god of Keighley got them nowhere. But the hard, honest truth got to him. So,
wait. Are you saying that you were directly responsible for last year's being good?
I mean, I'm not going to not say that I wasn't.
Guys, this is our guy. He's doing big things.
I think Resident Evil 2 could be, but people are going to make the argument that can a remake win a game of the year like that?
It's more of a reimagining though than a remake. I mean, it has the same characters and same setting, but the actual game itself is pretty different.
Yeah, everything's been pretty much upscaled. Levels, camera control, cinematography to it. It's all different.
I don't think they're going to give because for example, like a game like Shadow of the Colossus, that didn't really win any type of awards.
Yeah, but
that
felt like more of just an engine overhaul. I mean, this is almost a reimagining of how to tell the story.
I mean, here's the thing. What if Death Stranding comes out and it gets an 81 on Metacritic? Can it go be nominated for Game of the Year and then win?
No, it can't. Yeah. There's no way. Game of the Year's got to at least high 80s. That's what I've noticed with all the games that get nominated. They're at least in the high 80s. If it's an 81 and it gets if it even gets a nomination and it's an 81, then there's some keeliness going on.
I mean, he's got it, dude. He's got to be sweating and be like, please let Death Stranding get reviewed well. Please. Because if it doesn't, it's going to be a really awkward Game Awards, I think.
He'll get nominated for other stuff, though. He'll get nominated for story, or he'll get nominated for soundtrack.
They'll make something out like cinematography. They'll make something.
Yeah, they'll
best game with Stranding in the title.
Yeah, it's like what's the best?
Death Stranding's gonna have a high ass Metacritic.
You think so?
Yeah,
I feel like there are gonna be people who just don't get it. Like I'm thinking
it doesn't matter. The people that will the people that will get it are the big review sites, and whether they get it or not is up to interpretation. Like, I enjoy Kojima, but I don't know that it's going to be a great game. I'm definitely picking it up day one, and I definitely can't wait to play it. But I think it'll be overhyped because it's been overhyped since its inception. I mean, how many people were freaking out about this game before you saw any gameplay? The gameplay actually made me more interested in the game, but up until that point, I was like, what is this? Like, this makes no sense.
Listen. I mean, when Metal Gear Solid, 4 came out, people are actually kind of divided on that if you listen to their opinions on it. So,
but that game got tens, man.
Yeah, they did everywhere.
And I don't know why people were against Metal Gear Solid 4. I thought I was a diehard Metal Gear Solid fan, and I thought 4 was great because the story made sense. It tied into everything. Sure, some of the segments maybe dragged on a bit too long, but it felt like Metal Gear. It had all the characters that you wanted to be in it, and the online was really fun.
Yeah, it was a good game overall. Yeah.
You guys are all gonna feel really stupid when it's either Crackdown 3 or Anthem that wins.
Wow.
Oh man.
Biggest disappointment of the year. Anthem. Bam.
No, Wolfenstein Youngblood, but they're
Wolfenstein Youngblood is not the biggest disappointment. It's $30.
So far. Yeah, $30.
Anthem is a much bigger disappointment.
Nah.
Way bigger. It's a full $60 game.
Yeah, it's,
Does that mean I guess Smash would take fighters, right? Best fighting game, and then
Smash.
and then Fire Emblem might take RPG then.
It could. I'm thinking about any of the other games. Like really early this year, there wasn't much RPG stuff. So yeah, Fire Emblem.
Dragon Quest 11S.
Well, I mean, will they give? I think that game already came out 2017 or 2018.
But it has added shit in it.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it could get nominated. So yeah, maybe Dragon Quest, but that's maybe
we'll see.
Maybe Fire Emblem.
Let me go through. There's 2 more super chats. Let me if we can finish out here. Delvid Nesker says, "Hey fellas, where is Wario on Switch?"
It's a damn good question.
Good question.
Why no first person shooter or first person online shooters?
It's a damn good question.
I mean, there's Doom, right?
Yeah, and I still play Doom.
What's that other one you play?
and the ones you guys play from the cell phone that like you seem to enjoy.
Oh, Sean,
Modern Combat.
That's Sean's game right there, man.
Modern Combat, fantastic. That's the game of the year right there.
Oh no,
Modern Combat. Yeah, I think there's really only Doom in terms of online first person. Doom's really the only prevalent one. Like that's worth noting.
They say it just seems like easy money and a tired question. Curious your take.
Is Doom Eternal Switch coming out this year, or is that later?
Same day.
Same day.
Okay.
No, it seems the panic button got to work on that thing quick.
I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's easy money to make all these big first-person shooters that rely really on graphics and online to make those on Switch and to make them good. I don't think that's easy. I think that takes a lot of hard work.
Well, what if they made one just for the Switch, like Conduit or something?
I mean, is that what people? Is that what people really want to play on? I'm not so sure.
It is a question of community. It's the same reason why a lot of the fighting games I own have only like 10 people playing online right now. Like, it's who's actually going to get it.
I just don't think, like, a lot of people talk about like these games like Doom and Wolfenstein. Oh, it's great that they're coming, but when it actually comes down to it, you're seeing a bunch of other games sell way better, like the RPGs and other things. So I mean, people are always clamoring for it, but then when it comes, like push comes to shove, like Doom's not outselling Fire Emblem or some of these. Or I don't think Doom's even gonna get near like Dragon Quest 11S or games like that. So
then Eric says, "What if Death Stranding is just crap? Then probably Doom Eternal will run over it." You know what? I hope Doom Eternal wins Game of the Year. I hope it's good, and I hope it wins Game of the Year. That's what I'm gonna go with.
That's a bold statement.
I hope so. I hope that's what it comes down to. I hope it comes out. It's like 90s on Metacritic. It's fun, and then it wins. But
I'll keep my vote with Borderlands.
All right.
Okay. Well, I hope Doom doesn't win.
Well, hey, you gotta Link to the Past, man. Come on.
Oh, okay, we're back.
Gotta get on that. That's our show for tonight for SpawnCast. Thanks to MVG Modern Vintage Gamer for joining us tonight. Where can all these nice people find you, man?
Thanks for having me on the show, fellas. You can find me at Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube, of course, Modern Vintage Gamer. A couple of quick announcements. Monday's video is about the OG Xbox, which is why I've got this piece here. So stay tuned for that. And in 2 weeks, I will be at the Long Island Retro Expo. So come and check me out. I'm doing a panel there. I believe it's Saturday at 5 p.m. So if you guys are in the area, come and check me out.
Yeah, Sean and I were there last year. We missed it this year.
Yeah, it's a good con. You'll have fun.
Yeah, I heard it's awesome, so I'm looking forward to it.
You got to get out to too many games, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely see if I can head out there next year.
Next year, I think everybody's going next year.
I'll be there.
Yeah, everyone's got to go. Yeah,
I have to come.
Yeah, it'll be good. It was fun this year. We had a good time. What about Jordan? Where can they find you, man?
You can find me on YouTube, Jordan Fringe. I talk a lot about Pokemon. That's basically.
All right, opening some Pokemon card packs over there, right?
Yeah, that, and then the Pokemon Explained lore series. I've got to say, I've been enjoying your channel a lot, Jordan. I've been watching a lot of the videos on the treadmill. Enjoying them.
Dude, I've been watching everyone else's videos on the treadmill. I guess I haven't been public about the weight loss, but I'll just say, as of today, I weighed in. I'm officially down 15 pounds.
Ooh, dude, good job, man.
I'm doing 4 miles a day on the treadmill. And
when's Borderlands 3 come out?
September 23rd, like late September.
Dude, I bet you get 25 pounds gone by then, like overall.
Oh, easily. I mean, I'm almost done. I've been doing this for 3 weeks. I'm down 15, so I think I can get to that pretty quick.
Yeah,
but I do have some cool stuff coming to the channel this week. I got this Japanese tin for the new Mewtwo movie for Pokemon. It's exclusive to Japanese 7-Elevens. There's a bunch of packs in here, and then this exclusive Charizard clone card in here that's going up in price. But I'll save that for the video.
Okay. And then what about Sean? Where can they find you, man?
Find me on RGT85. Make sure you check out today's video talking about Retro Mania Wrestling. At some point, the best upcoming August Switch games video will be up. I'm unfortunately waiting on something to be approved for that video. So I'm hoping tomorrow, because it'd be nice to get this out before August. But yeah, you can find me on RGT85, all forms of social media.
Okay, very cool. And then OJ, where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. This upcoming week, I got some cool stuff. Fire Emblem videos, got a whole Let's Play series that I'm doing. Got more information on Fire Emblem. We're always taking it, pretty much every day we got a video or something. So if you like Fire Emblem, you like RPGs, all that, check it out. And I'm streaming tonight, so if you guys want to stop by to stream, we'll be playing Zelda and probably Fire Emblem tonight, maybe just Zelda, not sure, but we'll figure it out. So we're gonna play some games tonight. So if you want to stop by the channel, and so anyway, on YouTube.
Cool. And then Evan,
one more thing. Sorry, my bad. Oh, and I'm on Twitter too, Player Essence. I'm giving away the Fire Emblem pins. I have a giveaway on there, so look me up on Twitter. And I have some Fire Emblem pins, those exclusive pins. I'm giving away 2 sets to winners. So if you guys, or to 2 people will win those. So if you want to follow me on Twitter and check out my post, it's pinned to my profile. Check that out too.
Ziljan says, how can Borderlands 3 win Game of the Year when it don't come out till 2020?
He's doing the whole PC thing.
Because it's a PC thing, yeah.
Yeah,
because that's still funny, guys.
And then what about you, Evan? Where can they find you?
You can just find me on Twitter at Kimmerix Project. I'll link it in chat. That's where I'll post if I'm doing anything, streaming, if the stuff I'm working on leading up to Baltimore Comic-Con, stuff like that.
Cool. Okay. That's going to do it here for a SpawnCast. Thanks, everyone, joining us. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll see you guys then.